What is up? What is up? How y'all doing? Hopefully everybody could help. Everybody's having a good weekend this weekend. Happy Friday, baby. What's going on? What is up? Before we get started, let's do a little housekeeping, shall we say, with Fanatics. Officially licensed gear. Fanatics. Get all your officially licensed basketball gear, NBA, you name it. Whatever sport you may be into, they have it. Jerseys, football, helmets with the camera. You name it, bro. They got it. And then put in hashtag Finn's Tailgate to let them know that we sent you. Also, W Energy Drink. It is a great way to get energized in the morning. I drank some this morning. I was very, very nice. Gave me a good boost. I didn't go over. I didn't crash or anything like that. So, and of course, Backroom Collections. If you use hashtag TFTG on both, you will get 10% off your first purchase on both. And of course, we got the rundown. El Capitan usually comes on every other day or whenever he gets a chance. I love seeing El Capitan come by. Cup of color. Anytime is the right time for a cup of color. Him and Ali are going to be doing some morning shows. And speaking of which, this is the countdown for Late Night XL. Will be coming in August, Saturday nights. And of course, me and Lewis, we have some things in the work for next week. We got big plans. So here we go. Sorry about that. Anyway, and of course, we coming back Wednesdays, Fridays, and of course, tonight, Saturdays until August. We got some good stuff. No sound. Yeah, I know I went out for a little bit. There we go. Of course. So what's up, man? Hope y'all had a good Saturday night. Myself, I can't wait for the weekend. What's going on, Lewis? How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good. For some reason, it went mute on me. I couldn't hear anything, so I had to back out and come back in.
Man. We don't know where DTA is, Betty. Let's give a few shout outs real quick. First, Adam Pandia. I guess he's bored. I forgot to hit the go live button earlier today, so you know. We got California First in the building. Mr. Banana, Scott Jackson, Wolfpack in the building. Raphael Courtright, what's up? C. Hoffel, how you doing? Best name in the business, Dolphinier. Joe Reist, what's going on? El Capitan, maybe reason will come through. No, I don't think he has any reason, no pun intended. Adam Pandia, Fred Dunlap. We got some good people here. Miami Dolphins content. That's what's up. How you doing? Let's get some lemon pepper. Jimmy Satterfield. Sal from the Bills Mafia. Michael K. John D. What's going on? Ali in the building. What's going on, bro? How you doing? Brandon Story. We got a few people. Hey, Q, mi hermano, what's going on, brother? How you doing? My favorite Deuce. All right. So, and Steve, we can't forget the U.S. Marine Corps. So anyway, you there, Lewis?
Yeah. I'm here, Shake.
All right, cool. So what we're gonna do is give me 1 second. I'm gonna get some ice.
Oh, a lot of people in here. I also see Ron Levy in the house. Shout out to Ron Levy. See the homie in here. So had a pretty good conversation today with Ron backstage. So shout out to the homie. Yeah, man. I don't know. For me, real quick, before I think Shake has a couple topics we're gonna get into, I'm just gonna say it again. I'm very, 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 very encouraged and happy on some of the things I've been hearing about our Miami Dolphins. So for all the Dolphin fans out there, we should be excited. I think this is going to be a real special season for us. So
Drinking
I know
rum and Coca-Cola.
Dolphinier, appreciate you asking. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Still probably a little congested. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice, but feeling a lot better today. Fever and all that nonsense is gone. So now it's just the congestion and stuff. But appreciate you, Dolphinier, for asking, man.
All right, now check this out, man. I was watching Twitter today, as we always do, and when I'm not watching the naked women on there, I do look up dolphin content from time to time. And here we go. Here are the top 10 tour plays. So here we go. We'll dissect them, all right? Can you look at? Can you see the screen?
I'm all good on my end. I don't know if
Okay.
you could blow it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll blow it up. You don't need to
There
see
you
me.
go.
I don't need to see the chat. If you want to highlight something in chat, go feel free. I can't see chat right now, so here we go.
Yeah, that's much better.
Here's number 10.
Love this decision.
New England Patriots. Yeah, if that was a floater, that would have been an interception, bro. I don't care what nobody said. That was not a floater. That was a nice little shot in between three defenders, and Waddle hit that bad boy with stride. You there?
Damn, Shake, I didn't know I was on mute. Absolutely. Right there, Shake. That's the perfect example, right, of what the West Coast system should look like, right? Three-step drop, plant your foot, ball comes out in time. That only reason Waddle was able to split those defenders, right, is because the timing of the West Coast system, that is basically the epitome. It's all timing based. And you see on that play specifically, right, when the timing is there, we have the home run hitters to make points. That's points. And that it was a great throw, great catch, great everything on that play.
All right, here's number 9, baby. didn't give another angle, but yeah, that was he put it where only his receiver could get it, and Trent Sherfield made that awesome catch.
One of the prettiest throws, in my opinion, Tua Tagovailoa threw all season long was the Trent Sherfield corner of the end zone.
All right, here's number 8. Third down to get it.
Yeah.
Like everybody says.
Right.
Did he
Right.
I didn't see him go back. Nope. He was in full stride on that one.
Yeah, absolutely, Shake. It's just our receivers are dynamic. If you don't get a hand on Waddle and Tyreek Hill at the line of scrimmage, you have problems on your hands. If you give those guys free releases, you have some problems on your hands.
Hey, Fred, calm down. You wake your neighbors up, bro. Anyway, I could hear him screaming. Anyway, I could hear him screaming from freaking Southwest Florida, and he's from Jersey. Fred, calm down. For that neighbor that you stole the spatula from, come get you.
For real, bro.
Here you go.
15-yard line, and on first down, Tua with a shot in the middle of the field. It's brought in by Sherfield.
You got to pay attention to Waddle and Hill and Secchi, and now Sherfield is going to come down the middle of the field, but that has been
to me. It was a good pass, but I think
really
it was more receiver than it was Tua. I mean, had it been like a lesser, like a rookie or something like that, I don't think that play. I think that was a case of 50-50.
Yeah,
throwing it to a good receiver.
Absolutely, tight window throw. That's just a great play by the receiver. Look, in my opinion, I can't just sit up here and be all rainbows and unicorns up here, Shake. In my opinion, it's a risky throw by Tua because if that defender turns his head, that could have caused some problems. But hey, man, listen, Tua obviously is trying to be a gunslinger, and those are the kind of throws gunslingers make. So
for sure. Here's
so you get Tyreek Hill one-on-one against a guy who's been playing him great all night. Feet get tangled up.
And that one, the DB, that wasn't Tyreek Hill's fault. I think he was trying to hold him back or worry about his speed, and he fucked himself up there, bro.
Well, you see, Scott Jackson says the DB falls down there, and I agree. The DB did fall down. Still didn't make. Again, people can get in their feelings if they want to. It still hit Tyreek Hill in stride. The ball was still where it needed to be. It didn't matter if that DB was standing there. We know the adjective, right? A perfect pass, right, will always beat good defense. It always does. It's the bad passes that will get you in trouble. But on a great pass like that, I don't care if the DB was standing there or not. That's going right over the DB's head, hitting the breadbasket. So people can say what they want, but give the kid credit. That was a good throw.
Hell yeah. By the way, that team they were playing looked like a college team. Seriously, it looked like those uniforms are ugly as fuck, bro. What team? Do you recognize that team? Number 5? Ugly uniforms, ugly stadium, ugly fans.
Empty it out on 1st and 10. Again, well, 10.
Tonight.
Yeah, hold on.
Empty it out on.
Let's see that one again.
Touchdown! And the man open. It's Tyreek Hill for the touchdown.
Dude, look at these ugly ass uniforms, bro.
You talking about the crybabies that said it was too hot in South Florida?
Yeah.
For the touchdown.
Okay.
And for the it's Tyreek Hill for the touchdown.
Damn it. Yeah, there you go.
Looking for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Tyreek Hill.
Oh, that's the actual professional franchise? Damn, I didn't recognize them. That's the Buffalo Bills? My bad. I didn't recognize them.
First time tonight.
But Shake, that is amazing how an announcer can say perfectly in Tua Tagovailoa in the same sentence. You listen to our fan base and they tell you there's nothing perfect about this kid. Funny. Hey, I'm just saying, hey, you know what? Never mind. I'll keep those comments to myself, Shake. Let's keep rolling.
What are you talking about, Sal Bundy? What's going on? Oh, I forgot he was a Bills fan. Yes, the Joe Andres Negron, the Joe's chokers.
I agree with that. Statement. And listen, I know, Color, I'm just trolling a little bit. Color said it wasn't perfect, though. And listen, I will not debate Color on that. Color, let me troll a little bit, man.
I don't know if I
Looks like it.
Yeah.
It definitely looked like, man, on that play, me and Batman were sitting in section 129, basically right corner side of the end zone. That play was coming right towards us. That was another beautiful throw by Tua. But one of the plays I wanted to go back to was the second play, the spin out against Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I've been told in this fan base that Tua Tagovailoa cannot extend plays. He cannot make plays. Now, last night when we were on the panel, Shake, I said I want to see him do more of it. He has to get better. But the fact when we come out here and we make these blanket statements, Shake, like, oh, he can't do it. He can't do it. Well, we've seen him do it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? These are things he has to get better at. Of course, obviously, no one is a perfect finished product.
Nope.
But when I hear these things, oh, well, he can't do it. He showed you. He showed you he can. He just has to be more consistent and do it on a regular basis. But this is why, Shake, I've kind of flipped a little bit in the fan base. And again, that's a credit to Tua. I hear TD say it all the time. When Tua plays well, give him credit. When he plays bad, kill him. And that's the way everybody in the community should be moving. And, at least for me.
Here's a good start. Some of us might like Tua, but damn, you got to give credit when credit is due.
Exactly. Just what I was saying. And that's why I won't cuss this early in the show, but that's why I mess with guys like Andres Negron. You know what I'm saying? A real one. And that's all I'm saying. Kill him when he plays bad or when he deserves it and be critical and do all those things. But let's stop coming out here and, again, whether you like him or not, he's going to be QB1 this season. So let's get behind him. Criticize him when he's bad. Praise him when he plays good.
Oh, yeah. So at any rate, I guess my special guest ain't coming today. He was supposed to be here, but hopefully he comes later on. But anyway, let's see. So here we go. Let's get with this list. All right. We have 2 top 10 wide receivers of all time. If Cutter, you want to jump on here, being that you're a former wideout, you're more than welcome to jump on here to give us your expert analysis, because I know you're a former wide receiver. So anyway, with that being said, we have the Bleacher Report, we have the NFL. We're going to do top 25 and top 50. Which one you want to hear, the NFL or the Bleacher Report?
Let's go with Bleacher Report.
Yeah, because they're usually trash anyway.
Yeah, let's go with Bleacher Report first.
Yeah, okay. With no further ado. All right, here we go, bro. As a matter of fact, one thing, they got some honorable mentions here. So, Antonio Brown, Tim Brown, Isaac Bruce, James Lofton are their honorable mentions. Who came in, by the way?
That was me. You teased me enough, bro. Wide receiver talk, I'm all in, man. Real quick, though. I really appreciate the sentiment. It's very flattering. But I by no means am an expert. I mean, I never even played professionally. But I appreciate the sentiment. I know where you're getting at, because I do fashion myself as somebody that continued to study the position and the mechanics of catching a football my entire life, and I'm really deeply fascinated with the stuff, and could be considered a what you would say a honorary expert,
That's what's up.
The other thing is, Lewis, I know I feel bad, man. I didn't mean to totally crap on everything, bro. I understand why people hate me now. You know what I mean? I was trying to be critical, and then right after on that last one, that last deep shot, I'm like, that was perfect. But everybody misses the part where I give him credit. You know what I mean? Because I done already shit on your whole gig, man. I'm sorry.
No, listen, there's no reason to apologize, Color. You didn't do nothing wrong. Listen, bro, I was just basically saying, let me have a little trolling moment.
Oh, I know.
But I'm not.
And I should have. I shouldn't have been that way, bro. You know what I mean?
Listen, that's what makes the show great, right there, comments like that. Because I also see and I'm sorry, Shake, not to keep going with the list. But see, this is where color can be, because to your point, I seen you in the chat say that was a perfect throw. I think it was the Sherfield. And then also when I was explaining the West Coast system in the first throw with New England, you also said 100%. So the people that come out and say you're always critical color or you're a Debbie Downer, I don't agree with those sentiments neither. So listen, people are just going to hear what they want to hear, color, at the end of the day. And that goes
I've realized recently that if I let people have the narrative, then people are going to be able to define me. And it's time that I started to just make it clear to people, look, I really didn't mean to crap onto it just now. I really didn't. You know what I mean? There was no reason. I thought I want to point out like things for people to be aware of. And that's really always been my intention. You know what I mean? I actually feel, I'm kind of proud of you guys. You know, we have it's hard to navigate YouTube with the whole copyright thing and all that. I really wish people would take that to consideration, because I know we say a lot of negative, or let's say we point out a lot of deficiencies about Tua without being able to really illustrate what we're talking about. And you guys have kind of taken a chance to kind of figure out a way. We'll see what happens, but you know what I mean? Like the way you did it possibly is going to probably be okay. But it was nice and refreshing to see somebody like JR in chat who has to come here every night and hear me, you know, and, you know, let's face it, he wants to finally see, like, you guys pull up that video and say, here, look at this. This is the parts of that we get excited about, you know what I mean? And this is really good stuff, you know what I mean? And that's fair. That it was nice to see JR, you know, thank you guys for that, because, you know, it's a chance for people like him to say, you know what, the Fins Tailgate really ain't all about this certain way or whatever, you know what I mean? Or, you know, this or that. There is something here for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We really appreciate your guys' contribution for that.
And by the way,
even if it may grate on me like nails on a chalkboard, you know what I mean?
Yeah. right. And by the way, you know, El Capitan was on Fins Tailgate, as you all know, man. And one thing I pointed out, and he agreed with me, the Fins Tailgate is more like, this is FS1. This is a channel. This isn't just guys that we're different personalities. We have different shows, and we and just like FS1, you see Shannon Sharp going on Cowherd. You see Cowherd going on Nick Wright's show. You know what I'm saying? They all go on each other's shows. You know what I'm saying? But they all have their own brands, and this is what pretty much the Fins Tailgate is one network, a YouTube network of different hosts, different personalities, different shows, different ideas. And that's why I love this, man, because it's a collective group. If you agree, Color?
Absolutely. If you notice, it wasn't the fact that Skip Bayless is a Dallas sycophant and a Tom Brady sycophant that broke them two up.
Right.
It was personal shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if any of y'all followed what was going on kind of behind the scenes, but you know, if you subscribe to Marcellus Wiley's channel on YouTube, he's been doing a great job, by the way. He came up for himself pretty quick, and he's been doing it all himself and just doing kind of a quick take show that lasts about 20-30 minutes every day. Great stuff. Marcellus Wiley's a brilliant individual. Unfortunately, he is an ex-Buffalo Bill, but whatever, you know, nobody's perfect. But he kind of like has been right there kind of telling everybody what that whole thing has really been about, you know what I mean? Because he kind of has some insight having worked with the both of them for many years, you know, in various ventures.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Listen, and the one thing, I'll wrap the bow on it, I just think in general, when you come on YouTube and you have a voice where people hear you every day, they're just going to hear what they want to hear. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to hear, if you get a moniker of a negative Nancy, you're just always going to be that. And if you get a moniker of you being a positive person, that's going to stick with you as well. And for me, and again, I can only speak for myself. I just let that shit, it happens when it happens. If you don't like what I say or Color says or Shake says, then that's your problem. If you love it, again, that's your problem. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm not going to change for nobody.
Nope.
And that's the advice I would give Shake, Color, Cap, or anybody
Mhm.
else within the community. Like, bro, at the end of the day, I want to come out here, have fun, give a little information, and have fun with it. I'm not going to care whether I'm here to make friends, who likes me, who doesn't.
Right. And in the
I'm not.
long
It's
run,
not about that.
right. And in the long run, I found that for me, it takes a little while, but I think once people, the average person, even the people that come off that are standoffish with me at first, not everybody, but a lot of them will eventually come to a balance and understand my personality and why I say the things that I do. Sometimes I'm just arguing so that we understand pure logic, that it has nothing to do with what we're actually arguing with. It's that I'm trying to help even a person that I disagree with. When I'm arguing with them logic, I'm trying to give them an understanding that their position would be strengthened if they were to understand a more logical way to present it. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes I'll find myself arguing pure logic with somebody, and to the average person, it may seem that I'm arguing against a position or I'm being negative towards the given player. And it's like, no, it's just that, reality is reality. And I'm just real. That's the way I think. That's my personality. And I think once some people start to understand that, then they as you get to know anybody, you accept more of the things that used to bother you about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, by the way, Jose, yes, TGF is like shit with different smells. If anybody knows shit, is un come mierda. So thank you, I appreciate you. Anyway, let's get to this list. Here we go. All right. I guess number 10, Calvin Johnson is number 10. Number 9, Lance Alworth. Number 8, Marvin Harrison. Number 7, Larry Fitzgerald. Number 6, Chris Carter. Number 5, Steve Langhart. Fuck.
Was that Largent? I just want
yeah.
to be sure we're talking about the same person. All right. Yeah. Okay.
For some reason, it skipped. Okay, 6, Chris Carter. 5, yeah, Largent. That's the guy. All right. Number 4, Terrell Owens. Number 3, Randy Moss. Number 2, damn, motherfucker got leather helmets. What the hell? And of course, number 1, and look, he's from Alabama. And number 1, I don't think that's an argument. What do you think, Color? What did you think of this list, Color?
Yeah, I'd have to probably put Jerry Rice at number 1, first of all, so we get that out of the way. There's a couple people on there that I think they put on there just to be like, oh, nobody, look at me, I'm intelligent. Nobody knew about this older player, because there's a couple people that are not on this list that should have been. Absolutely. I can think of, I kind of think, from my own opinion, pure wide receiver, pure catching of the football, and with an accomplished career, I'd have to put Randy Moss right behind Jerry Rice at number 2.
Yeah, I'm with you, though. I like Moss number 1, only from a physical standpoint.
That's arguable. I wouldn't push back on somebody that would think that. You know what I mean? Sure. So I said
just from a physical standpoint. That's all.
Right. Right. And to be honest with you, if I had one catch to make to get me into heaven, I would probably ask Randy Moss to be my champion and not Jerry Rice. That doesn't take anything away from Jerry Rice's catching ability. You know what I mean?
And I know you've been angry with me because I've been crapping on the U lately, but I think.
Speaking of nails on a chalkboard,
I think Michael Irvin should have been on there. In my opinion.
Oh yeah, you don't have Michael Irvin on the list. He's probably one of the ones that got replaced for one of these leather helmet guys to make the article writer look smart. Because I might put Michael Irving there over Terrell Owens if you're gonna leave out one of those guys.
Yeah.
Terrell Owens, while being a beast and a great receiver, what did he really accomplish? You know what I mean? And if that's the case, where's Chad Ochocinco?
Hey, who let this Ali guy in? No, just playing. What's going on, Ali? How you doing?
Hey, I gotta butt in for a moment. The guy I think is missing is Ark Monk.
Oh yeah, Art Monk. I mean,
Art Monk was a good one. Yeah.
You got Ernest Givens, Webster Slaughter. I mean, there's plenty of guys I can think of over Terrell Owens.
Maybe Lynn Swan.
Lynn Swan, if you want to go with an older guy.
Lynn Swan is another good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, trust me, we got a top 50 coming in. So
Nat Moore, I mean, there's a lot of guys, that I don't know, top 10.
This one is the. By the way, this one is the NFL top 10. So, all right, let's do this one real quick.
So, and while we're doing that, I'll kind of continue to work up the list. So we got. I got Rice at number 1, Moss at number 2. I would probably put.
Let's do this. We'll do the list after. Let's do the list after I do all 4 lists.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Number 10, Raymond Berry. Number 9, Marvin Harrison. This is the NFL, by the way. Number 8, Calvin Johnson. Number 7, Larry Fitzgerald. Number 6, Terrell Owens. Number 5, Steve Largent. Number 4, Lance Allworth. Number 3, Randy Moss. Number 2, Don Hudson. And of course, number 1, Jerry Rice. So we have 2 consensus number 1s as Jerry Rice for the number 1 spot so far. So what you guys think of that one?
Man, they're still dogging Randy Moss, though, man. I mean, I don't think people understand that Randy Moss, when you all hear me talk about the things I consider important when it comes to catching a football and all that, Randy Moss is like the picture in the dictionary for all that. Like, there is nothing Randy Moss will drop if he don't want it to hit the ground. Nothing. I would venture to say Randy Moss is the best catcher of the football I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. The one thing for me when I look at these top 10 lists for any position, I always try to put the players, in my opinion, that were X factors or changed the game. Not a game changer, but changed how the game was played. Like Randy Moss changed how defenders had to play to be able to defend him. You know what I mean?
Right, Ali. I can barely read Q's point, but it has to do with getting mossed. You literally have a term named after you, getting mossed, which means a guy caught a football over you in traffic. You know what I mean? Like in a hard situation. Like it's literally called getting mossed. How does that not at least earn you the number 2 spot?
Yeah, it's just like Tyreek Hill, for example. He's one of the, in my opinion, he's either the number 1 or tied for number 1 receiver in the league today because he's an X factor. He changed the game because of his speed and his abilities. Defenses had to change because of him. That's why I think, I like players like that, and Randy Moss is definitely one of those players.
Yeah, I agree with DVP. Adam Pandilla. DVP should have been number 1. But
you're gonna wake up crypto is gonna come running.
but there again, no Mark Duper, no Mark Clayton, not even one. Well, I guess you got more lists to get to, but It's amazing not to at least see Duper in somewhere in one of these lists, man.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do the top 25, and then we'll get to the top 50. All right, here we go. Here is top 25. Here we go. And right out the gate, can y'all see me? Y'all see it, right? Hello, can y'all see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you? Okay, I'm just making sure because I can't see you guys now on the other page. Right. Coming in at number 25, Hines Ward. 24, Steve Smith Sr. 23, Charlie Joyner. 22, Antonio Brown. 21, Reggie Wayne. 20, Andre Reed. Number 19, Fred. Not the Fred that's on our panels, but Fred
Bilikov.
Yeah. I think he was a ballerina too. Here we go. Number 18, Michael Irving. Number 7, Andre Johnson. Number 16, Terry Holt. Number 15, Art Monk. Number 14, Tim Brown. Number 13, Isaac Bruce. Number 12, James Laughlin. Number 11, Raymond Berry. Number 10, Chris Carter. Number 9 is Marvin Harrison. Number 10, Terrell Owens. Stupid mouse. Number 7, Lance Allworth. Number 6, Calvin Johnson. Number 5, Larry Fitzgerald. Number 4, Don Hudson. Number 3, Randy Moss. Number 2, Steve Largent. And then number 1, I'm guessing Jerry Rice because I can't see it. Where the heck did it go? Yeah, Jerry Rice. So
See, that's not actually bad. When I was growing up, before Randy Moss, everybody had Jerry Rice and Steve Largent 1 and 2.
Yeah,
like Steve Largent's records are the ones that Jerry Rice smashed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I like this list. The order for me is a little bit wrong. Like, I like the names. The order is just a little bit off. I think Steve Smith needs to be higher on the board. I think Michael Irvin can be higher. So can Marvin Harrison a little bit. That's pretty much the only issue I have with the board, but that's about it. It's just a matter of order.
All right, and we got the last list. This is top 50.
One other thing, Shake.
Yeah, go
Again
ahead.
with Duper and Clayton. So they saw fit to put Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, who came from the same offense in the same, from the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Yet not even Duper or Clayton.
Yeah, that's crazy. Or even the wide receiver from the 72 Dolphins. I think he played a big role in why the run game was so potent. You know what I mean?
Right. They also, if I remember correctly, they included the 2 receivers from the Jim Kelly Buffalo Bills era, Andre Reed and James Lofton.
All right, here we go. This is a good one because I don't have to scroll. Here we go. Number 50, Art Powell. Number 49, Keenan McCardell. Number 48, Joy Galloway. Number 47, Charlie Taylor. Number 46, Stanley Morgan. Number 45, Harold Jackson. Number 44, Bobby Mitchell. Number 43, Lionel Taylor. Number 42, Drew Pearson. Number 41, Dwight Clark. Number 40, Mark Clayton. Number 39, Gary Clark. Number 38, Andre Rison, who got his house burnt down. Number 37, Steve Smith Jr. Number 36, Julio Jones. Number 35, Chad Johnson. Number 34, Eric Moulds. Number 33, Brandon Marshall. Number 32, Keyshawn Johnson. Number 21, Antonio Brown. Number 30, Derek Mason. Number 29, Jimmy Smith. Number 28, Calvin Johnson. Number 27, Rod Smith. Number 26, Bobby Hayes. 25, Hines Ward. Number 24, Andre Johnson. Number 23, Sterling Sharp. 22, Reggie Wayne. 21, Andre Reed. 20, Paul Warfield. 19, Antoine Bowden. Number 18, Art Monk. Number 17, Charlotte Joyner. Number 16, Henry Allard. Number 15, Torrey Holt. 14 is Isaac Bruce. 13, James Lofton. Number 12, Michael Irving. And number 11, Lance Allworth. Before we get to the top 10, what do you guys think of this so far?
Still no duper.
I was looking into Duper's stats. I mean, he did have less than 10,000 yards, and most of these players have over 10,000.
All right, fair enough.
All right, here we go. Number 10 is Chris Carter. Number 9 is Tim Brown. Number 8, Don Marrond. Number 7, Larry Fitzgerald. Number 6, Marvin Harrison. Number 5, Steve Largent. Number 4, Don Houston. Number 3, Terrell Owens. Number 2, Randy Moss. And number 1, Jerry Rice. So I guess the other guy they didn't have on there. So Randy Moss, he kind of jumped the line. So 3, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, and then Jerry Rice. So our 4 lists. And one thing I've noticed since I've been doing the list, right? Not everybody had a consensus number 1. This is the first list that I did, because I usually do like 4 lists. I did 4 or 5 running back room list. I did 4 linebackers list. Not all of them had the same linebacker at number 1. This was the first list that everybody had a consensus number 1.
Yeah, I kind of like seeing Irving get up there closer to the top 10. And I noticed the guy you had referenced earlier, it was Paul Warfield, made it up to like 20 or 19 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I did notice, and maybe I'm wrong because I don't know the college history of every single one of these receivers, but I don't know if any of them are Gators, man.
Hey, we didn't. Shit, I could barely name Gator. There's only like 3 Gators I could honestly name.
Right.
Jacquez Green, and he really wasn't that much of an impact. And damn it, who's the guy? He did win a championship. He played for Minnesota. He was
Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, someone asked in the chat, why did they have Chad Johnson over Clayton? Part of that is the fact that Chad Johnson had 11,000 yards versus 8,900 that Clayton had.
And Megatron was a beast. Let's face it.
Megatron was a beast. He retired early too, so that's my opinion.
As far as naming Gators, actually, I was thinking I forgot about Percy Harvin. I could name a few actually.
Mm-hmm.
Emmett Smith.
Nat Moore was a
Gator. Yeah, Emmett Smith.
Yeah. As far as wide receivers, no, I think you know what? Believe it or not, who's that? He plays for Kansas City now, but I think he's going to be a hell of a wide receiver. They traded him. What's his name? Damn it! You know what I'm talking about? The guy who,
Tony.
Huh?
Tony.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, he's a decent receiver.
Yeah, the reason he fell in the draft is because he got pulled over in Gainesville and they found an AK-47 in his trunk.
Wow, he's tall as fuck, man. But you know, we do have, you know, South Florida's own Miami Dolphins' own Channing Crowder.
Hell yeah.
Played for the Gators.
Yeah. We have a lot of Gators that play for Louis Oliver.
Oh yeah, dude, really?
Mm-hmm.
And he was my favorite safety growing up.
Oh man. So
Boy, Louis Oliver could put a hit on somebody, man. My God, that was back when they still had a pure, strong safety, dude. And that dude was just like, he could easily be a linebacker in today's league, man.
The only wide receiver I can think of that was maybe up there in stats, Daryl Jackson was a Gator.
Right.
And by the way, MCJB, we don't mind if you unsub. You're a Bama fan, so yeah, you could leave if you want.
What's he unsubbing for?
No, because if we keep talking about
if you're
Gators.
leaving MCJB, let me help you pack, bro. No, I'm discussing. I love you, MC. I love you, MC.
Yeah. If we have Bills fans that fucking here, we definitely could have some Alabama guys. Anyway, you guys mind if I open up the floodgates?
No, don't. It's your gig, buddy.
No, I'm just asking because I just want to know see if anything else that you want to get off your mind or whatever. You want to talk about some OTAs?
Yeah, we can talk about OTAs.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ali. Go ahead. I just got one thing that we hadn't mentioned in the past couple of days that I thought was kind of encouraging. You know, to cater to other parts of the Finn's Tailgate fan base. Apparently, there was a report from I want to say it was Omar, but I'm not sure 100%. Saying that the other day, I don't remember which day it was, a few days ago at OTAs, that Skyler had the best throw of the day. Had a really good shot out to I want to say Easy E, but everybody was really impressed with the pass, and that was like the best of the day. So we are seeing some continued good looking stuff from our backup. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to put that out there. Nobody really brought it up on the YouTube streets, but apparently people were quite impressed with Skyler showing the other day.
Oh yeah,
that's nice. Just nice to hear.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we could get excited about the third string receiver. You know what I'm saying? We should get ready. We should be excited about the.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know people are going to say what they want to say about me, but I'm not, because I'm really not trying to throw shade on anybody else. I'm just pointing out that we can be a little confident in our backup situation more than people thought we could. I think, or maybe more than people assume, because stuff like that doesn't get talked about very much. But it was reported in an article by one of the beat reporters that he had a pretty decent day the other day.
All right, let me see.
We're writing books in our chat. You're writing books.
What do you mean books?
Yeah, look at that chat. Look at that message in chat. It's like a book. Is it a spammer?
Yeah, it looks like a.
Yeah, it's a spammer. Let me get
Scam.
it.
All right.
Looks like some type of thing to get money donated or something.
Well, I can't do anything about it on my phone because it's not showing me the hamburger for some reason. If one of you guys want to block that guy out of StreamYard.
All right. I'm looking up something real quick on my phone. So.
Oh, no problem.
I mean, on my phone, my computer. I can't see that.
Oh, it's somebody from the Facebook side.
Oh. Oh, that's probably why I don't have the option hamburger. So yeah, so our regular, so the YouTube audience isn't even seeing it. All right. That's cool. Just us. Somebody's spamming our Facebook chat, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we have a question here. I'm have a question for the panel here. This is a very important question.
Uh-oh. Ali went bye-bye.
Ali went bye-bye. 1 second here. God.
Uh-oh,
here we go.
radio silence.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now, the question of the day, the question should be whatever. Who was your favorite orange jersey so far? We had Andrew Van Ginkel, Salvan Ahmed, we had Johnson, we had Jalen Waddle, and there's another orange jersey. Who else wore the orange jersey besides those guys?
I thought it was Holland. I thought Holland wore it one time.
Okay, so who out of those five, who was your favorite orange jersey recipient?
For me, it would be, and I know it's surprising with Waddle and Holland on the group, but I'm gonna say AVG, Andrew Van Ginkel. I've always been high on AVG shape and color. I think he's a fundamentally sound player. He's not, the fastest, biggest.
Keith Lamb said Alex Ingle as well. So
yeah, like I said, for me, AVG, he in my opinion is the definition of a football player. Again, he's not gonna jump the highest, run the fastest. He's not maybe the strongest. He's just fundamentally sound. And for me, as a fan of the game, and I just like guys like that. So I would say AVG.
I agree. I'm with Lewis. That was going to be my choice, and for the same reasons.
And by the way, can you see the back of my jersey?
Right.
Yeah, that's beautiful shape.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna be at that mud bash. Hopefully, MCJB is gonna be there. Yes, I am gonna be at the mud bash. I'm gonna be wearing this shirt. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna see if I can try to get Dolph Freaky next week. Keep your fingers crossed.
Right.
To see someone so she can promote it real quick. But
real quick for the couple people that in the chat that have said Waddle, I don't want to rain on your parade or nothing, but didn't Waddle did he wear it the first day, or was he the first one that wore it the second day?
I think he was the first one that wore it.
Right. But I know he was the first one to wear it, but was it on the first day or the second day? Because if it was on the first day, he didn't do nothing to earn it. Why would you pick him?
But listen, all I know is I'm gonna say Salvan Ahmed. So selfishly.
Right on.
So
again, I'm not trying to crap on Waddle, but y'all have to think about those things logically. If he was wearing it on the first day, that means it was just given to him, assigned to him, and unless there's something they did beforehand. I don't know. Maybe they have a sack race or something, or whatever. Who knows what?
Yeah.
But if he wore it on the first day, then what did he do to earn that?
By the way, one of the reasons why, like I said, I'm saying Salvan Ahmed. Here's the one reason I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
Right. There you go. Hey, I mean, you know, all Tua has got to do is meet up with me and give me a selfie, and hey, I'll be his biggest fan.
It was Waddle the second day, man.
Oh, okay. See that? Okay, that's fair. I didn't know. I was asking the question. I was just trying to be logical. And if it was on the second day, then that means that nobody had it the first day, and he earned it. You know, good for him.
That's what's up, man. By the way,
But we have to think of those things, people. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying you have to think of those things. You know.
By the way, before we get to the opening, I just want to give a shout out to. I'm always going to give a shout out to Chef Drew's Catering. He's going to be starting his own business soon. Man, I can't wait for him to get it off the ground. I guarantee you it's going to be delicious ass food. He's going to be doing parties. Hey, man, if we ever do a party, the Finns Tailgate ever do a party, man, we already know who's going to be doing the catering. And I just want everybody to know that I am the founder and president of the Noah's Ark fan club. So the Noah's Ark's coming, baby. We're gonna house cheetahs and giraffes and penguins and all that good stuff, baby. Get on board the Noah's Ark, baby.
And yes, trust me, I've been on record. I always say that, you know, when it comes to the appeal to authority fallacy, I always tell people, I don't need a chef to know what a good cheeseburger tastes like. But if you do need to appeal to an authority and you need somebody to show you what a real cheeseburger tastes like, a good one, Chef Jew is definitely your man. Because one night when I said what I said, he put in chat, he basically kind of said, hey, this is how I make a cheeseburger. And I'm like, holy shit, that sounds really good. So, yes, if you do need to appeal to an authority, Chef Jew is your man if you need to know how to make a good cheeseburger.
Absolutely. I just wanted to shout out Jose Valdez. He says the Knights have a 4-2 lead with 5 minutes left to go in the game for those hockey fans or those two hockey fans or whatever. And I just want to shout out Jose and let him know, in the great state of Florida, Jose, there's only one true hockey team, and that's the Tampa Bay Lightning. No one gives a shit about the Florida Panthers. Let's go Lightning. So just wanted that little PSA out there.
Lightning, I never heard of them.
Sorry, Shay. Oh yeah, well, unfortunately for South Florida fans, we do boat parades over here on the west side of Florida. We do boat parades. I don't know.
Unfortunately, ice skating itself is more interesting than hockey.
Hey, listen, I'm Cuban. We're done. Hey, listen, I'm Cuban. Once we get to Miami, we're done with boats.
Oh man.
Anyway, all right. Any final words before I open up the floodgates, man?
Bring them on, bro.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, it is what it is, which is the evening.
Ali, you got any final takes before we open up the floodgates?
Bills suck. Let's get it going.
Well, there you go. I like that.
Yeah, that dude. Did you see in Tua's top 10 plays, he was playing an XFL team with the blue jersey and one with the red jersey. Looked like they look red jersey. You
I'm not gonna lie. Those are all red unis by Buffalo. That has to be the most hideous uniform probably in the NFL. Those things are
horrible. Dude, seriously, those red uniforms made them look like used tampons. Real talk.
Come on. Even worse than Tampa Bay creamsicles from back in the 70s.
I would much rather have the creamsicles than that red piece of.
Me too. To be honest with you, me too, bro. Them ketchup bottles gotta go, bro.
I said that they look like used tampons, bro.
Well, with the white helmet, it's just like the lid on the ketchup bottle. You know what I mean? It's like, God, man.
Hey, here we go, man. MC, let me make some announcements. MCJB, what's going on? Fred Dunlap, what's going on, brother? Ron Levy, what's up? How you doing?
What's up, guys?
What's going on? So, first and foremost,
New color.
MCJB, what's going on, brother?
Dale, amigos, Dale. How y'all doing?
By the way, I love the
Everybody.
new track you just dropped.
Yeah, I do like the new track.
Great track, bro.
Yeah, I like the new track.
Oh,
bro.
y'all sweet.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, the
Straight
track
fire.
was cool. The track was cool.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Means a lot. But I got a question for the hashtag Ask Jake a question.
Yes,
Did
fuck
you
Bama.
say
I
you
agree
only
with you.
knew? Hold on. Did you say you only knew 3 Gator players, or am I tripping right now?
Wide receivers.
We're talking about
More
wide
than that.
receivers.
Oh, I was about to get on your ass, Jake. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I know
Makes
more.
sense.
And I said,
Y'all ain't
and
even
by the
known
way,
for
and I
wide
also
receivers.
hold on. I also preface off the top of my head. I know more, but not off the top of my head. Gators receivers aren't my kind of my you know what I'm saying?
Gators don't even need wide receivers. They just need a quarterback to run the ball.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
That's all y'all
no,
known for.
At the end of the day, I don't care what they do on Sundays. It's on Saturdays that count.
They ain't doing
Shake.
shit
Let
on
me
some days.
let me ask you this, Shake. Being a Florida fan, I'm probably
Yes,
you
sir.
didn't probably see the one quarterback play, but in your opinion, who was the better quarterback at Florida? Was it Spurrier or was it Tebow?
Ooh.
Spurrier or Tebow?
Damn.
All right.
Put him on the spot, Lewis.
As a pure as arm talent, Spurrier, but as a quarterback, a galvanized dude. If you see the personalities that Tebow had to rally around, bro, it wasn't easy, man. He was dude. They followed him to a fucking T, bro. What they followed his example. They followed his lead. He was disciplined. You seen after they all broke up, everybody went to shit, bro.
Yep.
So
The 2008 Florida team is, yeah.
Minus the
Man,
Pouncey brothers. Other than that, man, everybody went to shit after they left Tebow, bro.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Scott Jackson is in the chat mentioning the Cincinnati all white uniforms with the white helmet, and I kind of did like that. You know what we should do,
Oh,
Shake,
yeah.
and everybody on it.
Well, actually,
should rank
the all orange uniforms were fucking hideous too. The color.
Those are hideous. Yeah. What we should do that would probably be fun. Rank the
What's that?
32 the best jerseys in the NFL, like the uniforms, and see where I know we're all Dolphin fans. Where do you think Miami would fall on a list like that, ranking all 32 teams?
We'll do that next Friday. How about that?
If they allow us to have our throwback jersey, then number 1 in my opinion.
Well, Lewis, as a lived experience on my end, totally anecdotally here, I will say that throughout my life, about 5 out of every Dolphin fans that I have talked to, this is just an estimation, about 50% of the Dolphin fans I've ever interacted with became a fan because of our colors.
If we do bring a new jersey, I think if we're not going to do throwbacks, it has to be a gray jersey. I have a gray Tua jersey that's sick as shit.
When I was younger, man, and if I didn't look close enough, man, and then check out the helmet too, I could have swore that the Houston Oilers, man, would be the Miami Dolphins, man.
Right. Now, the funny thing is, though, for those of you that have never been to Florida and you did become a fan because of our colors, this is speaking to you all out there, however many there are. There are houses in South Florida painted those colors.
Oh, absolutely.
So it is like born right out of the soil. Like those colors are South Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
And are they Dolphins fans? Are they Dolphins fans too?
Yeah, they're pretty sure Dolphin fans. I mean, it's in South
I
Florida.
was about to say, all the houses just their color, man. Okay.
Oh no. You can paint.
And not to leave Shake and Lewis and Capitan and all and Ali out. Well, Ali's technically, I don't know if they consider your area South Florida or not, but I would anyway.
We are part of South Florida. We get South Florida news. We pay everything's South Florida here, bro.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But even for the guys that are far north of the lake or west of the lake, Yo, those are Florida colors. I mean, those colors. Everybody in Florida identifies with those colors. Clean on up to, Tallahassee. You know what I mean?
Hey, by the way, hold on, real quickly. This is just a public service announcement. Listen, we like to have a cordial conversation. So if anybody starts interrupting anybody, this is footage of what's going to happen to you.
What are you saying? What's happening?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Please let everybody get their own chance to speak. Thank you.
Hey, these little small tapes you coming with Shake and get crazy, man.
I'm a dog. Listen, I'm a Dolphin fan. I love our old uniforms. I would put our uniform number one, but I can't lie. Mm-hmm. Another great uniform, in my opinion, is that powder blue San Diego Charger. Old San Diego Charger.
I like that jersey, definitely. Make sure we don't. New rule.
I think the Florida Gators. I think the Florida Gators is another terrible jersey.
New rule. You can't talk about DVP cryptos in the mouth.
DVP. Oh, DVP Devontae.
Wow.
Hey, Devontae was a stud whenever he was healthy, bro. I like Devontae Parker, man.
Hey.
No, he was not a stud. He only had one outlier season. Stop the cap.
Yo, do y'all like the Seattle Seahawks green jerseys?
DVP was a
baby. You need to I hated MCJB. I think that the NFL should ban fluorescence.
I was just wondering.
It's just the fluorescent. It's just the fluorescence, bro. I don't think
it was too bright.
I can't. It's hard for me to take an NFL team seriously that's got fluorescence in their freaking colors.
You talking about the Chargers?
No, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks.
They're green jerseys.
I don't really like that neon green too much.
Green is officially part of their colors.
That's right. I mean, that neon green had nothing to do with their historical logo, anyways, either. So.
Damn right, John.
But big time, bro. One of the biggest reasons I became a Dolphin fan is because the actual dolphin is actually my favorite animal growing up, and I used to go to Miami Aquarium a lot when I was growing up too, and that was another huge. And the colors was another reason why too. I mean,
you ever been up to Marineland in St. Augustine?
Hey, by the way, I got to agree with
Dolphins there.
I just went there last weekend, dude.
I got to agree with Pandia real quick. Adam Pandia, I love the jersey.
Go ahead.
The neon green jersey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I swim with dolphins. I threw, I was tossing them footballs over there up in Marineland. It's a beautiful place, man. It's right in front of the beach, too.
Yo, Irving, the dolphin that I interacted with was named Miramar.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit. That is insane. Nah, that's good. Wow.
Lewis, are you going to the Mud Bash? Oh, my bad.
Hey, by the way, I love the Scarlet Spider, bro.
Yeah, MC, you're bad.
That outfit was hard, bro.
Lewis,
are you going to the Scarlet Spider? That was my favorite, my second.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Next to the.
Oh, that's one of that's one. Yeah, bro, you're just like me, dog. Like, my favorite costume is the symbiote, and the second one is Ben O'Reilly, bro.
Yo,
the Scarlet Spider.
Lewis, are you going to the Mud Bash?
Yeah, I was talking with Shake a little backstage. I'm gonna try to make it out there. I can't guarantee it, but I'm gonna try to make it out there.
But if you can't, bro, I'm gonna report live from there. I'm gonna do.
I'm performing.
I'm gonna try to do a show live from.
I'm performing.
There, so. Oh, cool.
What's the Mud Bash?
Doll Freaky's thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna be on live stage and be a hype man, right? MCGB.
Let's go, bro. Let's get it. Be my hype man. Come on.
That's the cruise.
I need you to do my ad libs.
Hell yeah.
What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this one?
Bro, that shit is clean, bro. That shit is fucking clean.
I would buy this.
What is it? What is it?
Isn't that orange? I'd buy it.
No, that's Gesicki. No, I think that was Gesicki's jersey, right?
I will go with you. All you guys on your crazy uniform color ideas. Okay, I will go with you on all those. If we just knock out the one thing we haven't done yet with our existing colors, just once Could we have white jerseys on orange pants?
Ooh.
Actually, you know what? Aqua, you know what? You know
That
what?
would look
Aqua.
fire. That'd be fire.
Listen,
Dude, fire.
listen.
Yeah, I can see that.
Listen, one of
That's
my
the
favorite
Hurricane.
one of my favorite Hurricane jersey uniform combinations is the green jersey on the orange pants. Can you imagine if the aqua jersey on the orange pants? I would like to see that combination.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
That would
And
be
I'm
nice.
thinking, with the white jerseys on the solid orange pants with an aqua stripe down the side, and freaking orange face masks.
Yes, 100%. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Shake, are you
stripe?
camping out?
Yeah. What happened was I have a personal matter at 2:00, so I can't go there early in the morning. But I won't. I am going to be there by 5:00.
All right.
In the afternoon.
We'll talk later. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all.
No. It's all good.
I interrupted somebody though. That's on me.
No. But this. No, you good. No,
You're rude, MC.
I know I'm very rude.
I would definitely love to. I do want to promote Dolphiki's Mud Bash this Saturday. If you're in the Southwest Florida area, check it out, bro.
What do you say, Dolphiki's Mud Bath?
So like
Mud Bash.
My bad. I'm shutting up.
No, go ahead.
I didn't hear that right.
I'm gonna shut up.
Mud bath?
Mud Bash, not Mud Bath.
Yeah, it's been
Oh.
so it's basically a beach bash, but I'm calling it a mud bash. But my bad. Sorry.
It's a mud bash. It was a beach bash, but because of the hurricane last year, they can't do it on the beach, so they're gonna do it in a little man-made lake, whatever. So
like an ATV park.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's gonna be off the hook, bro. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
there.
that's fun. That's crazy. Fort Myers is still pretty fucked up from the storm, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. The recovery process has been very slow. Yeah. Sanibel Island was destroyed.
Real quick, because I know I forgot. I don't know. Maybe Shake forgot as well. Last time I checked, we were 240 subscribers away from 5,000. That's a really, really good mark. For
I
this
just
incredible
saw it,
channel.
Lewis. We're 199 away. We're at 4801 now, bro.
That's what's up.
Okay, so we're 199 away. Listen, at the end of the day, I was blessed. Shake was blessed. Ali, Color, and Capitan put in a lot of work for this channel to be where it is so far.
Damn, 5,000?
Yeah.
We're doing big things. We're doing very big things. So please like this video, share this video, and become a subscriber to this great channel, and keep up the support, because you see it from the morning to midday to late night. There's always somebody on. So just help us grow, man, to 5,000, man, for real.
Yep, we've grown roughly 128 or so in the last 30 days, and we're talking about mid-May, June, when there's literally absolutely no Dolphins content to talk about. So we really appreciate you guys showing up like that.
There's a tailgate where things happen in the tailgate.
I definitely got to give a shout out to Mike on the mic. He was one of the founding people here. One of the reasons I like Mike on the mic, because his dad was a Gator fan. And of course, I got to give a shout out to Tonk, who's another Gator fan. So shout out.
Tonk. Hey, but I was going to say, Lewis, don't forget to remind the people to hit that notification bell, too, because it gives you updates whenever you guys are on. So,
absolutely, man.
Hey, by the way, me and Lewis got some ideas cooking for next week, so be on the lookout for that, bro.
Damn, y'all. Can I say something to her? Real quick.
Go for it.
No.
Now, I was here.
I'll go ahead and see him.
Alabama. I remember. I gotta bring a flashback real quick. It was Color, it was Capitan, Mike on the mic, and I think it was Tonk. And I found out of the show it was like 100 and something subscribers. Y'all have done a real good job. You know, you blew up. You're going strong. Yeah, big shout out to y'all. I remember this show. It was very low, but y'all. Props to y'all guys, man. Keep the good work up. That's all I gotta say.
I think in about a year or so, right? And how long have you guys existed? About about a year, less than 2 years, maybe. I think 5,000 is very
yeah,
fast.
we'll be celebrating 2 years in November.
That's insane. 5,000 subscribers. That's a lot in that time span.
What's up?
It is
crazy.
I was mad the first time I showed up because Bama lost to Georgia. I was so pissed. But anyway, that's how I remember it.
Well, it's all about them Kings now, baby.
Fuck off. Anyway.
What you say? Candy
Fuck
canes?
off, man. Whatever. No, we're not talking about your anal lizards, man. We're not talking about your lizards.
What you talking about? Case of candy canes? Wait, you heard that? He likes to do anal with lizards. Is that what you said, Spider-Man?
What is he talking about?
No, you don't. No, anal lizards are anole lizards. Anole lizard.
Whatever sick
thing. Those lizards running around in Miami all the time, bro. There's the Cuban ones in them. Anole, whatever.
Listen, this is a family show. Whatever you do with lizards on your time, bro, we don't want to hear about it.
I'm talking about your lizards. I'm talking about your lizards that live in the puddle.
We know what you do with lizards, you sick fuck. No.
That was your fault.
That's probably what the Florida. That's probably what the Florida, locker room does to each other. But hey,
listen, I know what Kane fans do now with the lizards.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Anole, whatever.
I don't know how that happened.
You all need Jesus.
Yes, we do.
We all really do. God is good, y'all. God is
anyway,
good.
Let's bring it back to football. All right.
Right.
One.
Right. Good idea.
Shit. Well, here we go. One at a time. I want to get everybody's.
Hey, but that's what we do. That's what we do in Gainesville, though. That's what we do in Gainesville, bro. Every time we go in the puddle, that's what we do.
You better talk your talk. You better talk your talk,
bro.
It's better than what they do in Alabama.
Hey. When hold on.
Oh shit! This is about to turn into a college football show in a minute.
When
go ahead, Ali.
When Irv said that, I thought he was actually talking about doing lizards. I was like, "That's what you do in Gainesville." Holy shit,
bro!
Oh damn! No, Ali. That's Gainesville, Georgia.
Color, do you know how to pronounce the name of it? Since you're like a pretty South Florida guy, you know how to pronounce the name of the lizard. Before I go out, try to say it.
Are you talking about the anoles? The anoles.
There you go. The anoles. That's how you pronounce it.
Or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Now, before we talk Dolphins, I gotta say something. Shake, when was the last time y'all beat us? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. When was the last time y'all beat us? You don't even.
I'm sorry. Something's wrong with my headphones. I can't hear you guys. Anyway,
that's the truth.
Damn, I can't hear you. What? You're breaking up. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. What? No, I'm sorry. What? I can't.
MC.
You're breaking up. I'm sorry. You broke up.
Oh, he left.
Florida beat Miami.
I was gonna say MCJB.
It's just like when Tennessee. It was just like when Tennessee got their asses kicked by Alabama got their asses kicked by Tennessee.
Yeah.
MCJB. At least the Gators didn't get their ass kicked by some middle-ass Tennessee team that no one's ever heard of.
We didn't get our ass
kicked.
We lost by. But hold on though.
You lost. It doesn't matter. You lost.
Okay. Well, we were away in the fucking Knoxville ass Tennessee. What game?
At least they ain't gotta pay referees to win.
Tennessee.
That's true.
But anyway,
but y'all got beat.
Let's talk a little Miami. All right, here we go. This is the exercise.
And that's
allegedly.
Let's go, baby.
Allegedly.
We're gonna go around. We're gonna go around the whatchamacallit. Here we go. This training camp. What is your favorite? What is the camp battle? What position battle are you looking forward to see? So, Lewis, we'll start with you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Wait,
Wow, that is a good one.
prediction. Lewis is going to coincidentally be thinking the same exact thing as me. I just want to test this theory.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, I don't think there's really a competition at quarterback. I don't even think there's a competition for wide receiver 1 and 2. The competition for me is wide receiver, though. Who's getting 3, 4, and 5? Like, I think that's the most crowded room on the team besides the secondary. So I would say who's making the roster at 3, 4, and 5 at the wide receiver position.
If I have to go, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna say tight end. The tight end room is gonna be mine because we really
Damn,
don't.
Lewis, it was in fact Shake that had my idea, bro.
Oh,
Hey,
Damn. Now I got to think of another one. Shake, you took mine.
That's
I
his
want to
job.
see who's.
There's no
I like to know
competition there.
who's. I like to know who's.
Is there anybody
battling
backstage?
at
I
right
can jump
tackle.
off if y'all need me to.
All right, Greg, who do you look at? While you guys, while Color and Ali, y'all want to go, or y'all want to think of something else? And I'll let you.
I got one.
I'll bring it back to you.
Well, I was just gonna quickly say that I'm really anxious to see how the tight end room shakes out. That's basically what I'm looking for there.
Yeah,
All right, how about you?
Go
ahead.
You know, I was thinking about it. I'm kind of interested to see. I'm actually interested to see who the punter is going to be. And it's because we signed.
That's a good one, Ali.
I'll tell you why. Because regardless if we got that Pro Bowler from the Patriots, we actually got its nephew on this team, Turk or whatever, and they gave him some guaranteed money. And I'm kind of interested to see what happens with
My bad.
So just saying.
Oh, damn it.
It's not like exciting, punters, it's not so exciting, but it's different and it's an interesting to see what they do with that position. So that's just my opinion.
All right, Greg, what do you think?
Noah Igbenogany versus Jalen Ramsey. Loser gets cut. And I'm going to tell you right now, say goodbye to Jalen Ramsey because Noah's going to beat him out.
Hey, man, I tell you.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Noah's
Ark, baby. All right, how about you, Lizard Man? By the way, I think it's funny that one of Spider-Man's villain arch rival was a lizard. But go ahead.
Yeah, you bet your ass I'll be stomping on his face. Anyways, Dr. Connors, yeah. I think my biggest intrigue in terms of the position battles, I think it's going to be the guard position, man. I'm really intrigued to see who's going to win that left guard. I think that's a big piece to this offensive scheme, the zone scheme. So I want to see what Isaiah Wynn can do at left guard, man. I mean, I think Isaiah Wynn is a good fit in this scheme because he's an agile guy. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, Ron Levy, what do you think?
Thunder, man. I was saying the same thing. Left guard. I want to see if they're going to try Isaiah Wynn, give him a shot to beat out Eichenberg, so you have a solid left side. I mean, if you get Isaiah Wynn
For sure.
Armstead and Peter Connor Williams in the middle, that's a solid left side. So,
And you know what, Ron? You know what? I like that because I do hope that Wynn does get left guard. So because when Armstead goes out, at least we'll have a comparable. We'll have a good. We'll kick him out to left, and he doesn't have to switch positions because it's hard to get acclimated from left to right on a lineman. So it's easier for.
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100%. Fred, what's your camp battle?
Mine is, man, I like to see what they do with right tackle.
Right tackle?
Yeah.
All right, MCJB.
Camp battle. I'm sorry. It was what do you want to see during the camp, like camp battle wise?
Oh yeah.
I've heard offense. Can we go on defense or we just doing offense?
In whatever position, doesn't matter. Special teams, it could be kick returner, it could be gunner, whatever you want.
I've heard a lot of line. I think I heard one defense, but anyway, I want to see the linebacker position. I want to see if Channing Tindall has stepped up to the plate.
Yeah,
I
fuck,
want
bitch! Who do you think you are, Mr. Ball? You fuck bitch!
The hell?
Is that Greg? Greg, you gotta mute your mic, bro.
Oh shit!
Damn, Greg.
The hell was that?
But go ahead.
Hey, Greg, do the six.
You got it.
I just
Go ahead.
feel
What?
Linebackers, right?
Linebackers. Yeah, I mean, I just want to see if someone has stepped up to the plate and just can be a better linebackers than Jerome Baker and Landon Roberts. I just want to, sometimes they're great, but sometimes they're not. And it's like we need a.
Let's see, that's a good one, bro.
I want to see a better linebacker, I think, and didn't we get one from didn't we get one from the offseason? He came from the
David Long.
That's right. I thought it was David Long. I thought it was someone else though. I want to see David Long over. I want to see David Long and I want to see Channing Tindall. Like we drafted.
Let's not forget about Aubrey Miller too. Aubrey Miller is gonna light that up, dude. I can't wait to see what he does.
Damn, Ali, that's right. I forgot about Aubrey Miller.
His linebacker though. I think we're gonna.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see two different linebackers if we still have the same formation.
If there's a player this year, if there's a player I'm really rooting for this year, that's the underdog. I want to see Aubrey Miller go all the way, bro. I want to see him take off and make head turns. You know.
Make the transition too. I want to see ABG on the field more.
And by the way,
yeah, I mean,
go ahead. I'm gonna leave last for us. And I left the best for last, crypto. And keep in mind, we're not trading for Parker.
There is some wide receiver rumor news that came out, by the way.
I'm disappointed, Shake. I'm disappointed, Shake.
Hey, Crypto, you wouldn't take him as your wide receiver 3 right now?
I wouldn't take him as wide receiver 45.
Go ahead.
Hey, but we need a red zone guy.
Man, hey, Shake Money.
Yes, sir.
You know what? Never mind. He never did that well, anyway.
Looking for the interesting battle, man. I think I'm looking forward to the long snapper battle, man. That's going to be a good one.
Oh my God!
I'm thinking if we can just get that position nailed down, that is
for
icing
real,
on
bro.
the cake.
Our franchise is set.
There is no long snapper battle. Next year we're gonna place the franchise tag on Ferguson.
Oh, there you go. But yeah.
Hey, bring back John Denny, bro.
But on a serious one, I would say the iron sharpens iron with our secondary versus our wide receiver core. That's gonna be an interesting little battle. Can our wide receiver core put X out to pasture because they made him look so bad in the training camp that they're gonna finally get rid of him? I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully, iron sharpens iron.
All right. I'm gonna do one last exercise, and then we don't have to. Then we could free fall from here. What are your chances out of 1 in 10, right, of Cam getting into the 1 and 2 in the top 2? Lewis, we'll start with you. 1 out of 10. What was 8?
You talking about from the jump, Shake, from like week 1?
Yeah. After this camp battle,
I would say 1.
1. How about you, Color?
Barring any injury, Cam Smith is not going to be neither one of the 1s or 2.
All right, Color.
Okay, so let me understand the question. How I'm supposed to answer. Can you reiterate?
What? All right. So out of this, training camp and preseason, what are your chances? What are Cam Robinson's chances of cracking, beating out one of Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey?
Cam Smith.
Cam Smith.
I was about to say who?
What are his chances of beating out one of those two?
One, of course, 10 being strong, 1 being weak. Of course, Lewis said 1.
I would say 0. There is
Ali?
zero chance that one of those guys gets beat
All
up.
right, so I'm going a complete different direction than the first two folks up here.
I'm going
All
the
right,
total
I'm gonna
opposite
I'm gonna
direction.
tell you I'm gonna
saying
tell
one
you
of the
right
two.
now there is actually a 50 to 60% chance that it actually happens, and I'll tell you why. Even Vic Fangio told you right from the get-go that he has a new scheme he's building up, and there's been a lot of talk of Ramsey playing a safety type role. All right.
Oh, that's a good point.
If that is true, then that means Xavier Howard and Cam Smith are going to be the starting corners. Just being honest.
Excuse me.
Out of our available draft picks, we had 4 only that we picked all year, and we chose to go the first one to send a signal to what we was intending on doing with that position right out of the gate. Out of all available positions that could be drafted, the very first one was cornerback. That ought to tell you right there. That has a very high percentage that it would do.
I mean, listen, and I get it. Ali made a great. I get it. Ali made a great point. But see, I didn't know that's what we were doing. I thought we were just going by what their position is now. I get scheme and Ramsey might be moving around, but I was just under the opinion Ramsey was going to be opposite X. And in that scenario, that's why I said I don't believe he's beating them either one of those guys out.
I'm sorry. I didn't know there was like rules to the.
I'm saying you.
There is no
you
rules.
had a
You
great
just put in
point. You had a great
wrinkle.
point, Ali. I just didn't. I guess for me, I didn't understand.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, across the pond, put it in there. I think all 3 are going to be on the field at once. It could be very early too. I think that's
love that channel name. Across the pond.
Yeah,
Greg?
across the pond. Yeah.
Greg, how
Sorry.
about
I
you?
go next. Yeah. Go.
All right, go ahead, MCJB.
I'll be quick. I'll be quick as a whistle. Or quick. Anyway.
Hurry up, bro. We ain't got no time left.
I'm going with.
I got that much time.
Hold on. I'm going with 70 innings only because he can play any. A guy told South Carolina fan told me that he can play any position, which is my uncle. He can play any position, and I found out if this is true or not that Nick Needham got hurt today. I don't know how true that is, but Nick Needham apparently I gotta find that post where I saw it, but I think it said that he got hurt today and it's not coming to October. Is that true? Did y'all hear about that?
Well, I'll look it up.
He wasn't even practicing. He ran on the side.
Did they practice today? By the way,
let me look. Let me find it.
I think they did yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I think yesterday was the last day for OT. That could be wrong. Maybe they did
because
practice.
say he's only doing 6 instead of 10 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all have a good night, y'all. I'm gonna try.
You too, man. Hey, man.
All right, baby boy. Have a good one, man.
You heard me?
Yeah, they just put out a video of him running on the side.
All right. Who's next? Greg. No, Fred. Ron Levy.
Yes.
What do you think your chances are on the order changed?
I agree with Ali's take that they're going to use Ramsey as that star back in the secondary and move him around.
The star role. Yeah.
So I think that Smith is going to have a good chance of getting on the field early. I'd say 30-40%.
All right, Fred. What do you think?
Fred. Going one. There we go.
Is it Cam Smith beating out who?
Either
which one?
You think Cam what could be one of the 2 starting cornerbacks when it's all said and done at the training camp? 10 being the highest? Yes, he is. And one being the lowest.
Get out.
I say I give it a 6 that he replaces Xavier Howard.
Okay. How about you, Irving, aka Spider-Man?
I think Ali said it beautifully. I think I would say about 33 to 4. I think Jalen Ramsey playing that star role, whether they play him at nickel safety or they play him as that deep half safety or what have you, or they use him as a linebacker, sub package linebacker or whatever. I think he's going to get plenty of snaps. And I mean, he's going to probably compete with, Cater Kohu for that slot position. But I think he's interchangeable. You can put him on the boundary. You can put him in the slot. Like you can use him nickel blitz. He's going to be used. He's going to be used because of his versatility. He could even play safety for you. Like he has a lot of versatility, bro. He's kind of reminds me of Jalen Ramsey in terms of his versatility. And I like, bro. I mean, I think Steve Smith said it beautifully, bro. I mean, this kid is a smart, instinctual player. Can read routes. I mean, can play all types of coverages, bro. I think because of that and all that it just said, and Ali and others, I think he's gonna get about a 4. I think I would say 4 out of 10.
All right. And by the way, Greg, I know we're both Noah Arc guys, and I know Noah is going to come in week 4, become one of the starting cornerbacks, and this time he's going to put 3 games on his back and win, and he's going to be an All-Pro next year. But besides, take Noah out of the equation. What are your chances of Cam Smith being in the starting lineup?
Week 1?
Yeah.
I'll go 25%. I don't see it, though. I feel like it's going to be Ramsey. I don't know about Nick Needham's dictionary. I don't know about AI. Xavier Howard should be ready to go.
So wait, the question got
I thought you said when it's all
shifted.
said and done. He just
No. The question got shifted. Hold on. The question got shifted. The question was: Is he gonna?
It wasn't week
Is
by
he
week
gonna
one.
replace?
All said and
is
done.
he gonna replace Ramsey or X? And now the question is he gonna be on the starting roster?
Right, by week 1. That's totally different.
Isn't that that's the same thing? Replacing. Remember,
No.
Because if they play him at a different position, then he can start without replacing X or Ramsey.
What was the original question then? Is he going to
Whether he was going to push out Xavier or Ramsey out of the cornerback
right,
role.
when it's all said and done, which means you have a complete season.
So what do you think? No.
To
All right,
eventually
Crypto?
replace him.
Maybe when they tear their groin, then yeah.
Yeah.
Now Ali's take was hold on. Now Ali's take was fair because Ali said that they would play Ramsey at safety, and thereby Cam Smith replacing him
or
at
some
corner.
other type of role where he can move around freely where he wants. You know what I mean?
Right, but
He's
the
not just
essence
on
of
the
him
right or left
replacing
side.
Ramsey at corner is intact there in your take, Ali. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah.
What do you think, Crypto?
Well, eventually, over time, just based on percenter, not shenanigans with moving around people and places, eventually because X is on the decline, like I've been saying from day 1, and his injury to his hamstring is not going to be fully complete. So hence, I'm giving an 8.
You said game 1, though, Crypto. You said eventually.
Yeah. So
I gave it an 8. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Uh-oh. Turned up. Turned up.
Man, Crypto, what's going on, bro?
Crypto, damn.
Well, I know. I kind of wanted to get into something because,
All right, go ahead.
We were having this conversation the other day, or actually today, a little bit earlier. And I know everybody's on the Dalvin Cook watch. I know there's certain people that want D-Hop as well, and I get all that. Right, Shake. Like I get it, right? But ever since even before the start of last season, we were hearing contract negotiation rumors about Christian Wilkins. That season goes by the wayside. We start hearing during the offseason, beginning after the Super Bowl, Christian Wilkins is priority. He's priority. He's priority. And sitting now 99 days before the football season, June 3rd, and still no deal for Christian Wilkins. Like what?
Hey, Louis, you're going in and out, bro.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me better now?
I can hear him clearly though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because you were going it's like if you were going in and out, like I can hear you and then I can't hear you sometimes. Go ahead, bro. My bad. Go ahead. Just keep going. All right.
It might be that freight train you got going on in the background.
Yeah.
So, but no, like, what is everybody's thoughts on that? Like, what's going on with the deal? Because all I heard is if we signed him, we would actually save money for the cap this year. So, like, what is everybody's opinion?
Well, Lewis, you and I talked about this earlier. I think he's looking for too much. He wants over $20 million, and he's not going to get it.
Yeah. I just think given, I mean, he's just he's just elite on one aspect of his game. And in order to command that type of salary, and we talked about this in spaces, Lewis, like you got to be great as well as a pass rusher. You got to be able to disrupt passing lanes, be able to get your hands up, knock the football down, and be able to get sacks in the backfield, bro. And I don't think Christian Wilkins, I don't really think he's in the top 10 amongst like in the pass rush win rate. You know, he's always at the top of the list when he's at the you know, whether it's the run block, the you know, the run stop win rate. He's always disruptive against, you know, one-on-one against, you know, guards and stuff. Like he'll be able to see. He's instinctual. He can read the you know, the run play before it happens. He beats his guy off the spot, and it ends up in a tackle for loss. And he's, you know, he leads. I think he's pretty like top 3 amongst defensive tackles and, you know, tackles for loss. But as a pass rusher, there's a lot to be left desired. So I'm not really feeling comfortable about him seeking that top, you know, money like, you know, the likes of Quentin Williams is looking for, the ones that Dexter Lawrence has gotten, Jeffrey Simmons, etc. I just think like he's a good player. I just don't think he's an elite player.
I think also you got to look at it a little bit deeper. And with all these guys coming up for new contracts, who would you rather pay? A defensive lineman, interior, or a Jalen Waddle, or a Javon Holland, or a Jalen Phillips, who are in premier positions?
But here's the thing, Ron. Here's another thing that like his type of defensive tackle is not really a need in the scheme because, like I said, you really need a true one technique who is going to be able to, you know, eat up that gap, you know, a gap and a half in this type of scheme. So you're looking really for a big nose tackle that can, you know, pounce the center, eat up double teams. You really don't need a Christian Wilkins unless you're playing, you know, certain schemes that you utilize as a 4-man front. And this type of scheme, you're using a lot of like those 3-4 over fronts, right? And things of that nature. And when Christian Wilkins is that's not really his strength. If you put him in a 4-man rush, a bare front, you use him as a 3-tech, that's where he's mostly effective. So when you look at a big Fangio scheme and he's going to be your defense coordinator for the next 3-4 years, what you really want is to draft that big nose tackle, bro, that he's able to eat up blocks and allow your linebackers to shoot gaps and you know, and attack the you know, the running backs and stuff. So I just think that you need the nose tackle. I think that's a bigger need than a Christian Wilkins. And I think defensive tackles, when you're talking about other positions, I think that's one of the easier positions to draft and replace guys, as opposed to like drafting a tight end or a quarterback or what have you, or a cornerback. So
Irv, are you talking about a nose tackle similar to like a Paul Soliai kind of guy?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. I'm talking about yeah, those type of nose tackles, bro. Like, you know, what was the guy from Tampa Bay? What's his face? I forget it. Panay?
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea, there you go. He's a big space eater, and that's the type of guy that you need in the scheme, bro. Just,
and also,
I don't know. Christian Wilkins is gonna get his snaps. He's gonna be impactful, but you know, is he really gonna be that 3-down guy that you can't peel him off the field, whether it's runner or passing situations? I don't really think he's, you know.
This is the first year the prices are so high on interior defensive linemen. The market was reset.
Exactly.
They're reset.
Yeah, and like I said, that last year should have been a priority of re-signing him. You should have re-signed him before the market went off on you. Now it's impossible.
It didn't just get reset. They got like $5 million. These guys got over and above what the average salary was before. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I kind of, in my opinion, though, even before we started the season last season, I kind of think Miami had an idea that they were going to change the guard at defensive coordinator event, you know, this year, no matter what. And I also think that they may have thought through kind of what they wanted to do with the defense. Maybe all along the idea was maybe to transition the defense into a different scheme, and part of that really it may not. And I'm sorry to say this because I love the man. I love Christian Wilkins, right? But Miami Dolphin fans have to be prepared that there is a chance. I'm not saying they will, not saying we're not going to re-sign him, but I'm going to tell you there's a big chance that we might be seeing a change of the defensive philosophy that does not include Christian Wilkins or even a Zach Seiler. It may not even include him either.
Ali, I agree with you.
I
I agree with you, bro.
Is
Yes, sir. That's right.
Is why Christian Wilkins can't demand that money because you get the same production out of a guy at half the price.
Yeah, this is true, but I don't think that those guys fit the true mold of what this team wants to do. That's why there's a big chance that we, and I hate to say this, but we could see a Christian Wilkins let go to just be walked away, or we might do what we did like with Jarvis Landry, where we franchise him and then trade him. That's a very big possibility. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, we just definitely do have until the trade deadline. You know, we could still franchise him after this season too. I mean, there's a lot of different things we can do, but I honestly think, looking at it, if you're right about what you're saying, Irving, that we need one of those true big nose tackles to eat up the blocks, I just don't see where Christian Wilkins and Zach Seiler fits the bill here.
Yeah, and the thing is like that's what the reality is right now. Like if you hear different reports from different quarters of the Dolphin community or Dolphin media, whatever. That Christian Wilkins and the Dolphins are far apart in terms of the value, and they're paying attention to what's happening in the market right now, and they know that market may be too rich for them. For a guy that's like I said, like I don't like to call him one-dimensional, but for the most part, that's kind of what he is.
Listen.
He's a good pass rusher. Don't get me wrong. At times he's capable, but I don't know.
Oliver signed today for $44 million over 4 years, guaranteed money. The contract is $60-something million, but the guaranteed money is $44 million. So that's about $11 million a year cap hit. That is reasonable.
I would just say that the only thing that makes sense is of signing Christian Wilkins now. It's just this year's salary. It just creates space. It gives us some financial flexibility for this year on top of our Jones money being freed up from June 1st. That's it. That's the only benefit.
The other thing is you don't have a replacement for him going into the season.
I mean, we do have Zyler, but hey, he's the cheaper option.
Hey, Lewis, the Lightning moving out of Tampa. They've been bought out.
Irvin, try to go out and come back in. Your mic sounds horrible.
All right, I'll do that.
I love your takes, though, bro.
Crypto, stop that, man. We all know there's one hockey team in the state of Florida, and that's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
They've been bought out. They're out.
Hey, by the way,
Jose Valdez, you better leave me alone, Jose.
The Lightning are moving to Orlando, and they're going to be called the Orlando Guardians.
Hey,
they're going to be called the Orlando Manatees.
That's a better one.
Actually, they already have the Manatees. I think isn't that the female the women's soccer team? I could be wrong.
God damn. Does it sound better now? The mic doesn't sound like shit anymore.
It does sound better.
Hey, Ali, I can't imagine in today's paradigm anybody naming a women's soccer team the Manatees.
I think they did, dude. I think they really did, for real.
Wow.
The Miami Sea Cows.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Exactly.
I hope the Bruins and the Celtics are at home watching these finals. Although it's been one game, I hope they're learning how to deal with 8 seeds. I hope they're watching them freaking losers.
8-6, Greg.
You're no longer the boogeyman, Greg.
Hey, but hey, I tell you what. One thing, if one of these teams lose, the Heat or the Panthers, I'm gonna give you the light at the end of the tunnel. So if one of them lose, they say 3 a city has never won 3 championships. So that means if one of them loses, that means the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
There's the bright light.
There you go. Good point, Shake.
Well, I mean, that is a great point by Shake. The problem is both South Florida teams are losing. Nuggets and 4.
Mm-hmm.
No.
He is.
Hey, Lewis, tread lightly, bro, because them cats are coming, baby.
Here, Color, just for you. No fooling around. The Orlando City Sea Cows are back today.
Ah, damn, I was joking.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Yep, I wasn't
that doesn't
kidding.
even look like a manatee on the shirt.
It does.
Looks like a bird or something.
So let me guess. The rivals are the Dugongs.
Actually, that looks like a Down syndrome dolphin.
Actually, I think their rivals are the New York City Plastics, the eventual plastic fan base that they have. It's fake.
No, that's the Daytona Dugongs. Y'all don't know.
That looks like a ghost.
Hey, that's a perfect name.
Like one of the ghosts on Ghostbusters costumes, you know.
Actually, I think that's only a limited time. They're calling themselves the Orlando City Manatees. I think it was only for a limited time. I believe the actual name is the Orlando City Pride or something like that. Something to that effect.
Hey, can't be no worse than naming the Carol City Chiefs the Miami Garden Sea Turtles.
Oh man! Thank God they didn't.
Did y'all see that picture of Devontae Smith?
They could call them the Orlando Bottom Feeders.
Damn, dude!
Y'all see that picture?
What's that?
What Devontae Smith? I guess his girlfriend's pregnant. They had pictures taken, and Waddle tweeted out or posted on there said, "I'm his uncle." Or her uncle.
Yeah, what about the Sarasota Flounders?
Waddle said, "I'm the uncle."
What was that, Irving?
Smith picture.
What about the Sarasota Flounders?
Right.
Actually, the Tampa Bay Rays had at one time they had the stone crabs.
Stone crabs.
Well, that's either the AA or AAA affiliate.
Yeah. They used to play in Port Charlotte, but I don't know where the hell they play now.
So you're telling me that the Tampa Bay had a case of the crabs?
Oh shit!
Yes, they did, Ali.
Hey, again. Let's tread lightly. You're talking
I'm sorry,
about
Lewis. I'm sorry, Lewis. I shouldn't have gone there. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just kidding.
You're talking about the best baseball team in the major leagues right now. Is the Tampa Bay.
Lewis, you're a Rays fan?
Listen, I've been in Tampa so long that, again, I was born and raised in South Florida, but been in Tampa I would say probably more than half of my life now. And I'm a Rays fan. I am a Lightning fan. I'm a Dolphin fan. So that's what it is. But everything else I support.
Thank God you're not a Buccaneers fan, bro.
Listen, I hate all these damn Buccaneer fans.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
okay.
Let's welcome Mark from Bills Mafia.
What's up, Mark? Nobody has the worst
Hey
name
guys,
in baseball
how it goes?
than my baseball
I
team.
did have actually had a football question for you. What do you think of the Oliver contract in relationship to where it puts Wilkins in that re-signing?
Well,
actually, Mark, let's ask you that question. What do you think? Since you guys are the ones that were. Hold on. I'm going to call him out for it because I put it in the chat.
Put the spotlight on.
I'm sorry, I was out at dinner, so my apologies.
It's okay. It's okay. Everybody got to eat. I understand. But the reality is what do you as Buffalo Bills fans think? Since you and I believe either Amicus or Michael K have on this channel, and Lewis will back me up, have stated that we should trade Oliver, and you guys were looking to move off of him. So how do you feel?
I like spicy Ali. There you go.
I look at first of all, let me answer Ali's question because
let me ask you a question.
I myself wanted to see them move Oliver because I don't really like a 287-pound defensive tackle. I just don't. But if you're going to sign him and you're going to do what you're going to do, actually the signing works out mathematically because they add the $10 million that he's going to make this year to the $68 million add-on. The signing bonus is $25 million over 5 years, so you prorate that across the 5 years, and it'll open up about $5 million of cap space. which, in all honesty, I think they're going to apply to go ahead and just sign the practice squad players and have money for the regular season. I don't think there's any more signings coming as a byproduct of that. And they didn't have any defensive tackles signed for next year. Now they have one. They'll probably re-sign Puna Ford, and they'll probably re-sign Daquan Jones and then draft somebody because they have like 10 draft picks. And they'll let go of Settle and Jordan, who really haven't done anything. That's
Man,
my
that
opinion.
was a great long-winded. That was a great long-winded answer, and I'm just gonna let me be the first to say.
Lewis, let me ask you a question. Hold on, Mark. Real talk. If you can, is Amicus okay? I don't. All jokes aside, is he okay?
I don't. Honestly, Shake, I haven't heard from him. Michael hasn't heard from him. We were kind of joking around because he was a Laker fan, and the Lakers got swept up by Denver, but. There's some real concern. I hope there's no family issues or anything. God bless.
Yeah, me too, man. That's what I'm getting at. I really do hope he's okay because he really is a good dude. But go ahead, Lewis.
Yeah, much
respect. I was just gonna say, I echo those sentiments about Amicus. Hope all is well. But I just was listening to Mark give that long-winded answer. I can't wait till Buffalo starts losing fucking games this season, so you can go ghost like you did last year, and we don't have to hear this nonsense anymore. This is fucking ridiculous.
So Lou, you don't want Dalvin Cook to penetrate to that undersized Bills defensive line?
Bro, listen, why do I need Dalvin Cook to do that? I had Randy Marshall that did that last year.
Hey, Mark, at least this year, when that starts happening, like Lewis says, when that starts happening, could you at least throw us up a Bills Mafia signal in the air so we know you're on a quote-unquote business meeting?
Right, yeah, exactly.
I was sorry, guys. I was on the East Coast. I couldn't break off from what I was doing. I had meetings. I couldn't get on shows.
We were worried.
Sorry.
Well, we were genuinely worried about you, bro. So just throw us up a Bills Mafia signal in the air so we know you're on a business
I should have just checked in. I'm sorry. That's on me.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason I brought up the question, not because of what I think of Ed Oliver, because you know what I think of Ed Oliver. I think they should have moved on and gone another direction because I don't think you can have light linebackers and a small defensive tackle and not give up runs between the guards. I don't buy it. But what it does do is it starts to define the Christian Wilkins market because Wilkins is better. So if Oliver's getting $15.75 million at 26. When Wilkins is 28, so he's probably going to also ask for a 4-year contract with a 1-year extension. So, what do you think the number is going to be?
Well, I would just say this, Mark. Are you talking about his total contract of $68 million? Because it's $45 million.
No, the total contract is $78 million because you have to add the $10 million that he's making this year to the 4-year extension. So it's $78 million over 5 years.
Okay, but really, the guaranteed money was $45 million, and that's what I really
the guaranteed money is $45 million that he's going to get, and he'll probably live out the duration of the contract.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to live out the duration. I don't think no player does that. So let's get back to the guaranteed money of $45 million. If you break it down and including your $10 million, it's basically, let's say, $11 million a year. I would say, to your point, Christian Wilkins is better. But I don't think he's $7 or $8 million to put him at $18, $19 million.
No, I think Wilkins is about a $17, $18 million player. That's what I thought it was more like 15, but I think Buffalo overpaid for Oliver. That's just my personal opinion.
No. I think, right there, when you hit the $14, $15 million, in my opinion, that's what Christian Wilkins is worth. I don't believe Christian Wilkins is worth $17, $18 million. I would be more at that.
Well, if Buffalo's gonna pay Oliver $15.75, and I didn't think he was worth more than 13.
Right,
and I thought Wilkins was about $15 million. So, but you can't pay Wilkins less than or the same as or less than what you paid Oliver.
But this is what I'm saying. You're saying it's 15-something million because you're adding the total contract. I'm not doing that. It's $11 million a year if you really break it down because I think it's only the 4-year $45 million. It's the guaranteed money. I don't care about what the final numbers
Of course,
say.
you're totally, Lewis, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So really, when you break down
it's just plain cap mechanics is all.
Right. So when you break down Ed Oliver, I'm looking at it as an $11 million a year kind of player over the guaranteed money. And that's why I would put Christian Wilkins at 14, 15. Because to your point, I do believe he's better than Ed Oliver. I just don't think he's $8 million better than Ed Oliver. You see what I'm saying? To put him at like $19 million.
Yeah, because the other side of the equation is going to be what the Jets have to pay Quinnen Williams, and he's going to be somewhere behind Jeffrey Simmons. He's going to be somewhere like 21, 22 million. And if Wilkins is going to hold off for 20, I don't know what you do, because it's not money to be his performance merits.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know what we're going to do with Christian Wilkins. If it was me, and I had said it before the draft, I would have looked to move Christian Wilkins before the draft. I think you look at certain teams in the first round that had first-round draft picks. For me, it would have been – I would have definitely made the call to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think with them losing Hargraves, I know they got Jalen Carter. I get it. But I think you could have probably moved into that 30th slot. And again,
you could have gone to Dallas at 26 and gotten Mazi Smith.
Even there you go, something like that. So
yeah, I like
my
Mazi.
opinion,
I like
I
Mazi.
would have tried to move Christian Wilkins at the draft, but that's just me.
Mazi was a good
I would have done the same thing, as long as you could replace him with another defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Because right now you got Raquan Davis, who he's had a tough go of it since the injuries. First year was fine, then he had injuries, and it's been a tough go ever since. And then of course you've got Ogba at one end, you got Wilkins who's playing. Is he actually a defensive end or a defensive tackle in your scheme? I don't, because I see him listed as a defensive end. I'm a little confused.
What player are you talking about?
No, Kristen Wilkins. Is he because he's listed as a defensive end, but because he seems to make a lot of.
He's a 3-tech.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Louis, I was going to ask you this question, right? We were talking about Christian Wilkins, right? And at times we would, have this discussion about, extending him and how much we should pay him on a yearly basis. And I mentioned in the past in spaces, whatever, that I think, Emmanuel Ogba's contract has become a problem, when it comes to, giving what Christian Wilkins, in terms of the Dolphins giving him what he is seeking, right? And the Dolphins are having trouble, meeting his demands because of something like Emmanuel Ogba's $17 million a year salary, right? And then I think somebody brought up that Bradley Chubb, but what about Bradley Chubb's contract? And, there's some debate whether Bradley Chubb has been the more productive player than Emmanuel Ogba. So I was asking you in your opinion, who do you think is the better player? Or all of you can answer this question. Who do you think is the better player between Emmanuel Ogba, between these two, Emmanuel Ogba or Bradley Chubb? Who do you think is more deserving of that salary?
I'm gonna have to say Chubb only because hold on, Mark. Let me answer that one real quick, and then I'll let you get the floor. I'm gonna have to go with Chubb only for the pure reason that number one, Chubb. Even though they're both injury guys, I think Ogba played only maybe one healthy season. But he is getting up there in age, so I'm gonna have to go with Chubb only because of the age and the upside. Still has a little bit of more upside than Emmanuel Ogba.
I'm gonna say Chubb too because he's already been successful in Fangio's system in Denver.
Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, those are all great points. I'm not gonna sit here and debate any of that, but. I think Ogba gets a bad rap, especially after this year. Listen, he was hurt. The man had injuries, and I'm not trying to make an excuse for him. And, yeah, to your point, Chubb's coming from a Vic Fangio system. He wasn't productive in that system. But if you did look at Emmanuel Ogba his first 2 years, again, under the Brian Flores regime, it wasn't like this narrative that gets painted around, well, he's making too much money. I mean, he earned that contract, though. If you look at him, 2 years in a row, 9.5 sacks, a lot of pressure, a lot of batted balls. He's pretty good against the run. He's a guy that when I look at him, he plays the edge. But even in Kansas City, I think even in Cleveland as well, he's a guy that you could probably move all up and down the defensive line. I just think I'm not down on Emmanuel Ogba like everybody else. Again, I'm not going to debate you guys saying Chubb is better. I just, I would say I'm a little bit higher on Agba though than a lot of other people, but that's just my opinion.
You know, one good thing for all the teams in the league is I read someplace today, and somebody else maybe can confirm that because of the TV money from the Sunday ticket deal, the cap's supposed to go up from like 208 up to 250 million next year, which alleviates basically everybody's salary cap problem. Has anybody else seen that?
Well, again, Mark, confirmed or not, I'm been pretty certain for the last year or two that the cap is exponentially going up for whatever reason you can point to. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if there is validity to that at all. That absolutely.
Yeah. So all the discussion about what we have to do for the cap and who has to be cap cuts and can we extend so and so. I do have a question, and I kind of think that maybe Greer's thinking the same thing. Is if you got money to play with now, would you extend Hunt and Williams now while you have the money and the chance, and don't let those guys go into free agency?
Absolutely. In my opinion, that's what I'm doing. Even before, and that's kind of the conversation me and Ron and a couple other guys were having today. That would be my priority. Before I would sign Christian Wilkins, I would definitely reach out to Hunt and Connor Williams. Like I think D tackle or 3 technique, wherever you want to put edge and whatever you want to do with Christian Wilkins. I just think that kind of player is more replaceable. It's harder to find good offensive linemen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I don't think it matters what the Vikings do with Dalvin Cook, because my feeling is they're going to hold him through the preseason and wait for an injury to come up and try to make his trade value. And if I'm the Dolphins, I'm not spending my money there. I'm spending my money where it's really needed to be spent.
No, but Minnesota's doing that. Why wouldn't you try and see if you have until he's got to make the roster or not make?
They got till the end of the 3rd preseason game to really move him. They don't have to do anything.
So I think my thing is with Christian, when it comes to like the offensive line, I think signing guys like Robert Hunt and Connor Williams are bigger priorities, especially considering that offensive line are bigger. It's like one of our weaker. It's one of our weaker areas in terms of like depth and in terms of like not really talent, but it's an area of concern, and it's one of our biggest. And I think Connor Williams was a top 5 run blocking center. He was the 5th highest graded run blocker in all of football, and he's on the come up, and he has room to grow in terms of pass blocking. And he's, I think, one of the more athletic centers in terms of this outside zone scheme, in terms of his ability to get out in space and get to the second level and things of that nature. And you look at Robert Hunt, right? Robert Hunt is a top 12 guard. He's top 12 overall in his position, and those guys are cheap. I mean, they're not necessarily guys that are going to break the bank. And I think the Dolphins, the time is now to really sign these guys before their markets get reset at their respective positions. So I think it's a very big priority for the Dolphins, Chris Greer and company, to get these deals done. And it does give you, like Christian Wilkins does give you flexibility in your cap space for this year. And I think those are, you want to anchor those positions for a long time. And you look at Connor Williams, he's only going to be 26 years old. You look at Robert Hunt, I think he's only going to be 25. Like, those guys haven't even hit their primes yet. They're in their peak physical prime right now. So they're young guys. They have a lot of upside. They have a lot of, long-term, long-term value in terms of their athleticism, their age, etc.
I didn't understand drafting Cam Smith instead of John Michael Schmitz. Schmitz was the guy I would have taken it at 51, and here's my reason behind it. You got Davian's, you got Howard's contract, and you got Ramsey's contract that you can't move off of in 2024 because of the amount of dead cap that there is. Schmitz comes in, he can play center, he can play guard, he can take over Eichenberg's spot. And there's a lot of different things you could have done with him, and to draft a cornerback when you already have a cornerback room, which is very, very strong to begin with.
Let's see what the
Seems to me,
I think,
it seems to me like,
I think it's
I
a
would have
little
gone
bit
in a different
more.
direction.
But Mark, I don't think I don't think that. I mean, you got to remember, Xavier Howard is up there in age, like especially Jalen Ramsey, bro, and they're gonna probably play Jalen Ramsey more at the safety position because corners when they get up to that age they start to decline a little bit. So in terms of their ability to guard guys on an island, so I think Cam Smith it makes sense, especially in this scheme. You need a lot of DBs because Vic Fangio uses a lot of nickel and dime packages, so he loves using cover corners, and he's versatile. So you need a guy like that.
Williams, who's there.
Hold on, Mark. Ron had a point that he wanted to make. Go ahead, Ron.
Oh, well, go ahead, Ron.
We learned from last year when the injury bug hit us that we need depth.
Exactly.
So it's smart.
And Ron, what happens if the injury bug happens in the offensive line? What happens if Connor Williams goes down?
Okay, what happens if anybody goes down? What happens if Josh Allen goes down, Mark? Come on. You can't be. You can't.
No, I'm saying there's a probability. There's probabilities across the board. I'm just saying that is it more critical to have a Cam Smith when you have other defensive backs like Trill Williams and Kader Kahu and Keon Crossan, etc. In the event, and if the event, God forbid, that Connor Williams goes down, then what happens?
I agree where your concern is, Mark, but the thing is that our guys, the problem is with our cornerback depth, a lot of these guys came from special teams. And we were pulling our guys from the special team, punt coverage and kickoff coverage and stuff like that off of that phase of the team and putting it on our defense. I mean, and we don't want that to repeat again, especially with the level of talent that we have on this squad. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so I think it kind of makes sense.
Experience. That's what intelligence is.
Yeah, and remember, Fangio has a lot of input on that defense too. It's just not. It's just not. No, that's fine, bro. You're not totally wrong, but I can see where the Dolphins and Vic Fangio specifically are coming from.
That's why, in all honesty, I don't understand this big push for Dalvin Cook when you already spent a third-round draft choice on an A chain, who's regardless has a lot of potential against a 28-year-old player with a bad shoulder history, and there's a potential money investment. I just roll with what you got. I think you're fine with Mostert. I think you're fine with Wilson. I think you're fine with A-Chain. And then you pick from either Gaskin or Ahmed, and you move forward, and you're perfectly fine.
Mark, if Buffalo got
I agree with that, but like if we don't get Cook, we're totally fine in the running back room, bro. Like I wish that. Yeah. I think we just need to get better in terms of run blocking up front and commitment to the run game. But other than that,
maybe
our guys can run.
Drugged down after making a 70-yard.
Well, like I said, to me, the commitment starts with paying. I only bring this up for one reason. Joe Thuney, when he went to Kansas City, got $16 million, and he's a guard. Brandon Streff went, I think, to Jacksonville and got like $14 million a year. You cannot let Robert Hunt hit the free agent market. You just can't do it. You can't take the risk. He's a perfect extension candidate right now.
$100 guy though, Mike.
I think that's.
How do you? Well, wait a minute. Is Brandon Streff a high money guy? Was Joe Thuney a high money guy? They got made high money guys because all it takes is one team.
One of Greer's flaws.
One team loves you, and they're going to throw crazy money at you, and you can't let that happen.
I'll agree and say one of Greer's flaws has been.
Well, we can't be chasing them price tags.
Get them cheaper before
hold on.
Market.
Hey, by the way, Noob, you got to get it right. It's not the Bills tailgate. It's the Bills Table Fest. That's what we're called.
Damn.
We are the Bills Table Fest. Not the
Bills tailgate.
I'm wondering why I'm being attacked because all I'm doing is talking Dolphin stuff.
No, it's actually it's not an attack on you, it's an attack on us. So you're good, Mark.
Okay. I'm just talking, I have the courtesy to come onto a Dolphin page or Dolphin stream and talk Dolphins,
No, like I said, it's not an attack on you, it's more on us than you. So you're good.
Yeah, bro. I jump on NFL Spaces all the time. We go, I listen to different fan bases and stuff. So, it's very diverse all across the board. So, I get along with a
Lewis,
lot
I
of
think
fan
you'll
bases.
appreciate this. I was on the Bills website. I was on the Bills chat rooms this morning or this afternoon, and all of a sudden, when the Oliver re-signing came up, you had all of these fans saying, "Oh, this money we're going to allocate to, Hopkins," and all I could think of was like Lewis saying, "Yeah, go ahead, go get a 31-year-old guy with injury and PED history. Go ahead, go spend money."
Well, Mark, it's actually funny you brought Hopkins up. I'm reading a rumor from a source of mine. It's actually not a source of mine. I apologize. It's just something I've read, and they're generally right. They're saying the Bills are out on Hopkins, along with the Cowboys,
I hope to
Chiefs,
God
and
so.
Lions. They all are saying no. So I don't know.
I can't justify spending money on a guy whose productivity is down over the last 2 years, has an injury in 2021, has a 6-game PED suspension, has a questionable practice habit, not a culture guy. He's just not a fit. He's not a fit in any capacity in Buffalo. And a lot of NFL execs are saying he's lost a step. There's just a lot of things that, I, as a Buffalo fan, don't want to see the team allocate money. I think it'd be a bad signing. I think it's damaging to the football team, and I don't think it furthers their cause.
Yeah.
On a football standpoint, though, I'm still thinking that Ravens sign him. I think the Ravens
by the
get
way,
him, and that offense is
I
going to
say
look
he's a
sick.
perfect fit with Buffalo. You guys drafted Matt Ariza.
And by the way,
He's a
Noob,
perfect culture
listen.
fit.
Cleveland.
Well, we all found out about Matt Ariza. The Bills drafted Matt Ariza, had to let him go because of all the smoke that was going on. They couldn't tear their team apart because of it. Now it comes to find out everything's been repudiated, and I don't know whatever happened with his tryout with the Jets.
See,
By the way,
Shake Money, I knew you were a bandwagon
Serious
guy. Jeez,
question.
come on, Shake.
Yeah, Noob, you get caught at one Bills game and you get labeled a Bills Mafia.
I know, right? Serious question, Mark.
Damn, that is crazy.
Serious question, Mark.
What's the serious question, there, buddy?
Face in the character.
That's a good one. Miss Finn's Batman and Stephen D and Shake Money. Yeah.
I finally arrived.
Man, you finally arrived, Shake Money. Congratulations on being a part of Bill's Mafia.
Thank you.
That looks like the Bills Mafia Mount That looks like the Bills Mafia Mount Rushmore. Oh
yeah,
man!
you can put like the 4 AFC championship rings on it while these Super Bowls go out to other places. Go ahead, lay it on me.
Serious question, Mark.
Man,
serious question.
So it don't matter.
I got a serious question for you, Mark. Does it not concern you the level of or lack thereof of due diligence on the part of your front office to first of all miss the fact that this guy had all that going on to draft him in the first place, and then on top of that turn around and jump the gun in getting rid of him for lack of due diligence and researching what was really going on, or they had all that information and are just playing everybody in a virtue signaling type manner. Does that not concern you about your front office?
Your own fan base. I only have to go as far as your fan base and panels. They were excoriating the Bills for having the audacity to draft this, rapist and all this other stuff. So,
well, you never heard that out of me. You guarantee you never heard that out of me.
Guy on your roster.
Okay, guarantee you never heard that out of me.
I heard this over and over and over again from many different locales of other teams. And how could you draft this guy? Blah 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 blah, et cetera, et cetera.
No. If it was brought that way, again, it's the same question. It's the same question. How did the Bills not know all this was going on if they then saw fit to get rid of him to rise to the level of him not being able to play in the NFL? Why'd they draft him in the first place if they didn't miss the information to begin with?
They had the whole story, but what they didn't have is they didn't have the girl's repudiation of the events that occurred. there was too much out still in the open. Yes, they had Ariza's story. They had knowledge of the event, but they didn't have the clearance.
It just seems to me. It just seems to me. It just seems to me if you're gonna draft a guy in the first place, then why wouldn't you just ride it out and keep him on the squad until you really find out the nature of everything, like they do with every other NFL player?
They let him go because they couldn't. They weren't going to take and have anything affect their chances to achieve their goals, and that's why they let him go. And he did it in a soft way, so that he would have another chance. And now he's got other opportunities, in the league. And I hope something good happens for the young man, for all the things that did happen to him.
Again, I don't dispute that. I'm just wondering. If all of the actions that your front office has taken or not taken, does that concern you at all?
No, not really, because
it shows an order of incompetence that may affect your guys' personnel decisions on the field too, like in the locker room.
I don't really think it shows that. I mean, they've made, just like every other team, they've had draft choices that haven't panned out. I was just reading something the other day that when they re-signed Oliver today, and they had signed Dawson Knox last year, but every other member of that draft class is gone from 2019. So you have good drafts, you have bad drafts, you have players that develop, players that don't develop. You make some personnel decisions that don't necessarily work out.
Yeah, but let's face it. Your guys are the Buffalo Bills. We hate the Buffalo Bills, and I have to find a way to shit on y'all. So let's face it.
I mean, if you want to talk about a team who has complete utter failure with their draft choices, look what happened with the Raiders. I mean, and even you guys picked the guy. They had that defensive back that was dealing with guns.
Oh God!
And you guys signed him. Why did your front office sign that guy? Now you subsequently let him go.
Oh, I've made it very clear my feelings about our front office, but we've reconciled that. You know what I mean?
How have you reconciled it? You haven't. To me, you haven't.
You all are the ones that still need the intervention. And by the way, your 4 AFC championship rings, that's still, we have 5. I don't understand the point there.
I was just saying, I was making a actually negative comment that the Bills, when the picture of the Buffalo,
and we also cashed 2 of those AFC championship rings into Super Bowl rings.
Sure, I don't dispute that.
Don't we have those 13?
You're 72.
Don't we have 13 division titles too?
AFC championship game or AFC championships in 80 and 71, 82 and 84. That's history. Those events have already occurred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Crow about 4 Super Bowl losses in a row? And no, they haven't won the ultimate prize. Period. End of statement. Done. Did they make the playoffs X number of years in a row? Have they taken and crashed the plane into the side of a mountain for the last 4 years? Of course they have.
Yeah.
And any Bills fan that wants to sit there and dispute the fact that they have not won the ultimate, they have not achieved the ultimate goal, is deluding themselves.
Yeah. Damn, losing 4 Super Bowls in a row, that's going to be rough, man.
The ultimate goal was not achieved.
Well, I mean, you talk about things that are rough.
I didn't mean to ruin your night or nothing, Mark, but
the best or next best quarterback in the NFL for 15 years and get to 1 Super Bowl. How does that feel? Mm-hmm. Every year you've got the best or the second best quarterback in the NFL behind, either right on par or up there with Elway, and not make it to the big game year after year after year after year, no matter what you try to do. And
well, see, that's your first mistake that's your first mistake, Mark, because I think he's far more likely to be closer to Carson Wentz than John Elway.
Hey, by the way,
Oh man.
hey, Cutter, you're making headway, bro. Look at this.
What's that?
Are you comparing Carson Wentz to Marino?
But can you read it for me? I'm sorry.
No, he's comparing him to Jim Kelly.
Are you comparing?
J.R. Black says.
No, he was comparing Carson Wentz to Jim Kelly.
Hear me?
No, he compared Josh Allen to Carson Wentz.
No, we can actually we can to a certain degree.
As soon as they're done,
we can compare Josh Allen to Dan Marino.
How's that?
The only difference is that Marino went to a Super Bowl and lost, and Allen has more AFC East division titles. But ultimately, both players
I see it.
didn't
I
win the
pulled my
ultimate
phone
goal.
back a little bit. I was able to read it. Jake.
I don't think quite the pocket presence or the release there.
Hold on. I have a question for Mark. How many AFC
or the accuracy
does Allen have?
None. Marino had one.
No, AFC East.
Allen's had 3.
Okay, how many has Tom Brady have?
Like 16, 17.
Okay,
He had
hold on.
20. He had 20.
How many
He won
Super Bowls
20.
does Tom Brady have?
Probably like, yeah.
And how many
Super Bowls does Brady have? Brady
Greg,
has
that's not a good thing. Greg, that's a division rival. What is wrong with you? Man, I don't care, bro.
He can, we can ignore him.
I love Greg.
Josh Allen has 0 Super Bowls.
Smoke some more weed, Greg, and just be quiet.
Nah. Greg, talk all you want, bro.
All those Patriot Super Bowl trophies need to go in the toilet where they need to go.
Well, I just can't help but thinking like how Carson Wentz was like this big northern school quarterback.
He's cold-blooded, Greg.
He's running all over the place and throwing the ball all over the place. Next thing you know, his ankles are shit. I just can't imagine like another year or two where Josh Allen's like hardly able to walk on his ankles.
Right, Color. You was comparing him to Josh Allen, not Marino.
Hey, by the way, Lewis,
The one thing I wouldn't be comparing if I were you is I wouldn't be comparing Josh Allen and his injury history against Tua that you have in Miami, who's been hurt every year since high school.
What happened, Shake?
I said, you know how I see you as a brother? That's how I see Greg too, bro. Greg, you're like a little brother to me, bro. So yeah, you can talk all the fuck you want.
Now the difference, though, Mark, is, and you must admit, would you not rather take Skylar Thompson over Kyle Allen? Come on, man.
Kyle Allen has had success in the league. Skylar's still a 26-year-old guy with like 3 games worth of experience now. And besides, difference.
How many playoff games has Kyle Allen played in?
How many playoff
games has Kyle Allen played in?
Skyler, we're going to see Pete up here like Beetlejuice.
Let me just answer the question because it's a logical question. If Josh Allen gets hurt and is out for the year, Buffalo season's over with. It's done.
And
by the way, hold on. I'm sorry. That inexperienced 3-game 7th-round rookie quarterback played you guys to 3 points in a playoff game. So there's that.
Played you within 3 points. You got a defensive touchdown in the game. Allen's fumbling the ball, throwing picks all over the place.
But did Skyler throw a touchdown? Then he had to throw
200 yards in
touchdowns
the
when he was
game.
down 17-0.
He threw one touchdown pass.
Okay, but we still scored 17 unanswered points. Matter of fact, we scored 24 unanswered
touchdown in the game.
2-point conversion that drive.
Despite 3 clear drops from his best wide receiver.
Magnificent game because he didn't.
I was away from my phone, so I couldn't hit the unmute button in time. Are we really going to sit here and gloss over the fact that Mark came out and said out of his own mouth, said that Josh Allen and Dan Marino in the same breath?
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think you can say that because
they didn't even warrant the response.
Yeah, I think you can very easily say that.
You have lost your motherfucking mind.
He's not even the best quarterback in Bills history. So how you gonna say that?
Listen, Mark.
Kelly has, Kelly has, 4 Super Bowls to his credit. But how can I make a comparison? Because Josh Allen broke all of Marino's seasonal records up to a certain point in his career.
Right.
He's
In a watered down
Manning.
In a watered down NFL. In a watered down NFL where the rules have changed. Could you imagine Marino in this offense league now
in this
with the
era now.
rules?
Right.
Thank
you, Lewis.
Just like he was the first to 5,000, he will be the first to 6,000.
Right, and don't forget, everybody forgets the other thing too. We've played 2 seasons now with 17 games.
Exactly. An extra game.
Bro, what are we
which
doing?
means you can get more stats.
The stats skew.
You know, when people try to wow me, when people try to take a quarterback and they try to wow me with 4,200 yards, I'm like, they're playing 17 games now.
Well, it's
and not only that, color
to say
Marino was doing it in a paradigm where running was the game. He broke 5,000 yards for then it took another 3 decades before somebody even sniffed 5,000 with a bunch of rule changes.
You had to be out of your mind
just for the next quarterback in 3 decades to cut them.
Crypto. 80% of the teams in the NFL at that time, you had to be out of your God-loving mind to do nothing but run twice and then pass on 3rd down. That was it. That's why people didn't watch football.
And let's remember another stat. Miami's teams couldn't run the football in the Marino era. They just couldn't do it. So that you got your yardage by throwing the football because that's the only way that you could.
Well, what happens is...
But that means that he was that more. If you knew that he was lining up and throwing, then you should have been able to stop him. Then
look. Football for a long time was stuck a lot like baseball.
What did you win in the Marino era?
Mark,
you went to one Super Bowl. What the hell did you win afterwards?
Hold on, Mark. Football for a long time was stuck like baseball, where there was a way you called a football game and nobody did anything else, or you get excoriated in the media, and that was. Run, pass. Run, pass. That's just the way it the frick was, man.
Right. Yeah. And what you guys didn't have is Thurman Thomas. That's why Buffalo went to 4 Super Bowls, and that's why the Dolphins went to none.
We also had
end of statement.
We had a line that was elite at pass
blocking. They went to the Super Bowl in '84. What are you talking about?
Run blocking because they were so elite at pass blocking.
That was pre. Thurman Thomas killed you guys for a decade.
No,
your run basically ended at the end of the '85 season. You had the end of '80. You got the end of '83. You had the Super Bowl season in '84.
You guys got lucky
you went to the
because we had
AFC Championship game in '85. You got beat by the Patriots in a bad weather game. By '86, your team was toast. '86 and '87 were terrible years. You came back in '88, got beat by the, lost it. I think you were back by 1990, and you got beaten in the playoffs by the Bills. You hosted an AFC Championship game in '90. At the end of '92, you got beat again by the Bills. So Marino's career was the byproduct of never developing enough players around him.
Bro, you act like all these games were blowouts, and you guys went on to get blown out in the Super Bowl on one of those occasions.
You have to actually win the game first to get there, Color. So that's the point I made.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody in their right mind knows that the Dolphins would not have freaking lost 52-17 to the Cowboys, and you know it.
How do we know that?
Exactly.
That's how we get lopsided Super Bowl, because the wrong team
is representing the conference.
Because for the very reason we would have been fresh is the very reason that you guys went all out and were able to edge us out in those playoff games, and you had nothing left for the Super Bowl, bro.
We didn't edge you out in '90 in the '92 AFC Championship or what ended up being the '93 AFC Championship game.
You
lost 29-10.
That's one.
That's
Yeah,
one.
just
You got
like when
beaten
you edged out
37
when
to
you edged out
22
the
a few
order.
years later. You got
No,
beat
you edged out
44-34.
you got lucky and edged out the Oilers, which means y'all represented the Super Bowl wrongfully that year. That's what happened.
We didn't beat the Oilers. We didn't beat the Oilers to go to the championship game. We beat the Oilers in a divisional playoff game
I
to
tell
be
you
able to
this
have the
too.
privilege to go to
I tell you
Pittsburgh
this
and win in
too.
Pittsburgh.
I tell you this much too. Stojanovich don't miss wide right in your first appearance either.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay, all I'm saying, guys, is all you had to do to prove your point was to beat the team that went to the Super Bowl, and you didn't.
Yeah, but everybody knew. Everybody who was there
I don't want
knows.
to talk about Super Bowl
Everybody who was
outcomes
there
because we already know
knows,
what Super
bro,
Bowl
what
outcomes
time
were.
it is, bro.
But your outcome was the
Exactly,
fact that
color.
you weren't good enough to be able to win the games to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're right.
That
you're right.
You're going to have
and
to live with.
everybody
Yeah,
knows
that
what time
doesn't
it is,
mean
bro.
that we would have outclassed the NFC once we got there. It's all about matchups.
It's all about the fact that you didn't get there.
Like
It's
when
not
the
about
Chargers ended up being just when like when the Chargers got lucky and beat us and got to the Super Bowl, they got waxed. Every time the wrong team represents the conference in the Super Bowl, it ended up being a lopsided Super Bowl, and you know this.
That's why
Just like when
Do
the
you
Patriots,
seriously
just
think?
like when the
Do you
Patriots, just like when the
seriously
Patriots,
think you were going
just
to
like
beat
when
that
the
49ers
Patriots
team that
went to the, just like when the Patriots played the goddamn Chicago Bears, and they was the wrong representative for the conference, and they got waxed. Everybody know if we would have played them in a rematch, we would have killed the fucking Bears. You know that. Anytime there's the wrong team representing the conference, that other team comes and smoke them.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the team we beat to get to the Chargers and lose on that Stojanovich miss, the team we beat was not the Kansas City Chiefs with Joe Montana.
Yes.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Exactly, color. Every time you get a lopsided Super Bowl is because the wrong team slipped by and squeaked by even the divisional round or conference round.
The only way New England beat us.
And besides, it wasn't.
A monsoon.
Hey, I'll tell you this much too. The last time, okay, before Philbin got fired, when we had a chance to get in the playoffs by winning one of our last 3 games and we couldn't do it, right? Okay, but we all knew as fans, okay, based on how our team was built and what we did when we did win games and the close losses we had, we knew that every single team in that playoffs for the AFC, save for one team, we were better than everyone in that freaking playoffs that year. Every single one.
You need to win, caller. That's the point I'm bringing up. Until you win the games,
right? That's called execution, bro. What you're talking about is execution. What you're talking about is execution. You're talking about execution, and yes, that is part of winning.
Let me just explain something to you again.
That's the problem when you have best out of 1 versus best out of 7. It's not best out of 7, Mark. It's always any given Sunday.
San Diego.
And who gets blamed? And who gets blamed for lack of execution? The coach does. That's why Philbin was fired.
Let's just take it back to the Charger playoff loss. If Stojanovich would have made the field goal and you'd have won that game, were you going to the Super Bowl because of that win? No, you would have had to go to Pittsburgh.
We're hosting the Super Bowl.
No, you're not. You're going to Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh was the #1 seed that year. You would have gone to Pittsburgh.
We beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is totally
he's talking
outclassed.
He's talking about hosting the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was in Miami that year.
Super Bowl was in Miami that year.
I'm saying, would you have hosted the AFC Championship game? No, you wouldn't have. You would have had to gone to Pittsburgh and beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
And we would have destroyed them because O'Donnell was terrible.
Yep, Neil O'Donnell was not beating that team.
But on the other hand,
and Mark, really quick, to qualify my statement about us that year and us being better than half the teams in the playoffs, if I remember correctly, if you go back and look at that season, we had to beat
7 out of the 8 teams in the AFC playoffs that year in the regular season is what I was trying to get at.
Bro, there weren't 8 teams in the playoffs that year. There were only 6.
Okay, however many it was, we beat one short of them in the regular season.
Right.
Let's see. You didn't beat the Chargers in the regular season. I know that for a fact. And let's see if I remember the remaining teams. So Pittsburgh was
What
in
year
that.
was that? What year was that? 17, I'm thinking?
That was 95.
No, I'm talking about no, bro. I'm talking about the year right before Philbin got fired.
I have no idea. The Philbin era was a joke. You had 1 year.
Well, I do have an idea because I'm a fucking Dolphin fan, bro.
The Dolphins were on the HBO show, and Philbin looked like a weak dumbass then, and he was
All
a
right,
weak
whatever,
dumbass as a
man.
coach.
Whatever, man. Nice deflection. I'll take that as a deflection.
Right.
Take that as fact. You hired him, then you fired him. Which gets us on to the actual core of the Dolphin problem, which is the lack of consistency.
To Ron's point, there's no way the Steelers beating us that year.
You don't know because you didn't play the game, and you didn't get to the game to play the game.
It's about
so until you can win the game to get you there to play the game, you have nothing to say other than the fact that we got beaten in the divisional round. That's what you can say.
Like the Giants and the Patriots.
Thanks to Stojanovic missing a field goal, a chip shot.
Doesn't matter. He's part of a 47. You got 47 players suited up, and he's one of them. It's a team loss.
Okay,
and besides, you got
congratulations. You guys were you Buffalo Bills was rooting for that because you know we would have been dominating at that particular point.
Actually, we won in the playoffs that year. We had a down year that year, and New England won the division.
Yeah,
I didn't see the Dolphins winning that division because they didn't.
We won the division. The championship game was in Miami, but a monsoon hit right before the game started, and New England rushed for 250 yards. Marino couldn't throw the ball, and that's why New England went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you win the game? No. So you had the game in your stadium, and unfortunately, your city's weather fucked you over, and you lost the game.
Familiar, Mark?
Who fucking who?
Does that sound familiar, Mark? Did I hear?
Exactly. Does that sound familiar?
Complain about the cold. We need a dome.
Right. Exactly.
I didn't say we needed a dome.
Yeah.
All your fans are crying about having a dome.
Am I all the fans?
And you played a game in Detroit.
Okay, you're an outlier, but about the
we played a game in Detroit because by the way, Ron, because Cleveland couldn't get to Buffalo. There was no way they could actually allocate the resources to be able to get the teams to the stadium to play the game. They had a very short 2-hour window to fly the team to Detroit.
What are you talking about?
Have they ever heard of Sikorsky? You know, Sikorsky actually designs helicopters specifically for the purpose of helicoptering in like really
you're not going to play that game. You guys haven't played in that level of snow. Why don't you guys go play in a fucking hurricane sometime?
I've played in snow before. I'm born and raised in Chicago. What are you talking about?
We did 1985 against the
Patriots. Like I said, every time there's a hurricane that's threatening Miami in that area, you guys move your game to Tampa.
It's much more easier to play in snow than it is to play in a monsoon.
Buffalo's had exactly 2 games moved in the duration. They had the game with Cleveland that got moved last year because of the weather that the NFL, by the way, moved, not Buffalo, not Cleveland. The NFL moved the game. And it was another game a few years back, and I forget what the reason was. I think they were actually on the road, and they had to move because the stadium, there was a stadium issue. And that was a Buffalo road game, if I remember correctly. Miami's had to move at least one game, and I don't know how many more there have been.
You guys got access to the National Weather Service, right? I'm just checking.
The NFL.
Hey, Crypto, remember that old commercial? It was like Crypto, remember that old commercial? It was like It was like a Budweiser commercial or something. I can't remember, but it started off. It started off Green Bay, Wisconsin, 40 below.
Right.
And it was showing the ice bowl. Remember that, bro?
NFL films, right?
Yeah. They're talking about,
right.
And then he's talking about Cleveland couldn't get the Buffalo.
Strawberry commercial.
Right.
God, you guys have been losing so long, and you have so much bile and hatred in your system that you can't listen to anybody telling you facts.
Violent? How's that violent, bro?
Pathetic to listen to.
Well, listen, when you start speaking facts, then I'll listen to you.
Yeah, Jake. When you start learning anything about football, is when I'll start listening to you.
I don't care if you listen to me. That's the difference.
Oh man, here we go.
Oh, here we go again.
We learned football this year.
Wow.
What is this?
Oh no,
that's Lewis. Lewis.
They got Lewis. Oh no.
Lewis and Bills Mafia. Oh man.
I see an aqua hat on his head though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey Lewis, blink twice. Blink twice if you're in trouble, bro.
Oh, he's straggling the fence. He's got on the Bills Mafia and
and I'm gonna tell you guys something. The one thing that we all, that the Bills and the Dolphins have in common, and there is a degree of commonality. The reason you didn't get to the Super Bowl in the late '80s, early '90s with the teams that you had, because there was a better team in front of you. The reason that the Bills and the Dolphins aren't getting to the Super Bowl, or at least haven't up till this year, is because there were better teams in front of them. Sometimes it just happens that way. You develop a lot of great players. You have players up and down your roster. You're projected high to do well, and there are just other teams that are better. Right now, no matter how much you and I,
that's what gives us license to roast you.
Kansas City and Cincinnati are better.
So that's why we're roasting you. What other fun are we supposed to have?
Otherwise, they will still be better.
Well, that's why we're roasting you, because what other fun are we supposed to have, bro?
No shit.
No way to do it.
See, you guys are out here for fun and to do whatever. I'm here to tell you pertinent piece of information and give you facts.
Is there a reason we can't do
one of our
both?
teams is
Wait
good
a minute,
enough
wait a
right
minute,
now
wait a
to
minute, wait a minute,
beat the Chiefs.
wait a minute. Is there a reason we can't do both? Because I was giving you pertinent information earlier, but I'm still joking around and having fun now. What's the difference? I mean, why can't there be both?
I'm having fun. I just have fun in a different way.
Right, but you're the Buffalo fan, so it's always going to be at your expense around here. I mean, come on.
But it would be nice if you guys actually could take off your Dolphin hats for a few minutes and actually talk legitimate football. Then you can put your Dolphin hats back on and make your jokes and do all your other stuff.
I don't know about that.
Are we supposed
Are you crazy?
to take off our Dolphin hats on the Dolphin panel?
Never.
That's like asking. That's like asking. Hold on. That's like asking. That's like asking Perseus to take off.
In and of itself.
Hold on, that's like asking Perseus to take off the helmet of Hephaestus. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I should not. You should never have an opposing team's fan on your YouTube channel that knows more than these supposed Dolphin fans.
You don't.
What do you mean?
That's
No.
sorry, and that says something about the people that are actually populating your panel shows.
Well, here's the thing. I really don't have to know all that information, because there's a thing called Google. Any information I want to know, any stat I want to know, I could Google it. I don't have to fucking memorize it, bro.
Well, it's far better to know something than have to look up something.
Dude, that's why we have Google, bro. Listen, I don't have.
No, we have Google for the ignorant people in the world who can't remember anything.
I don't need to carry every stat Marino had in my fucking.
Right, you don't think all those people on Star Trek actually know everything about the ship, right? I mean, they can just be like, computer, how do I do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got artificial intelligence built into every freaking nick and cranny of the world.
I just listen to, and I'm not going to attack the people here online because I actually, for the most part, Greg is, got his own little world, but I respect everybody on the current panel right now, and I know Lewis stepped away, and I certainly respect him. The only person I really have an issue with, honestly, is EM, and he and I have differences that are tied to the way he is as a person.
Mark, do not bring his name up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Leave it alone.
That's
but I
fine.
will
That's
say
the end of that. I just brought up my point.
I'm going to appreciate you if you do not. Thank you. Anyway.
Yes, thank you.
No need to redo anything.
I just came on to address
Thank
what
you
you
for
think
not
you guys are going to
further
have to say
talking about the
based on the Oliver signing. So that was my question when I came up.
Okay,
that's a
fine.
Dolphin
Hey,
question.
that's fine. Hey, I have no issue with that, bro.
Exciting
and,
stuff.
as a matter of fact, listen. That's why I freaking Larry L. I love Larry L. I seen you on there, color. He's now. If you want knowledgeable talk with Insta, Larry L. That's a guy that you would like to.
I like Larry L. Larry L. and I have a disagreement about the quality of 1 to 53 on a roster, but I respect him as a knowledgeable person and the fact that he's flat out open and says, "Hey, he knows about the Dolphins and doesn't know a huge amount about the other teams." I respect
Yeah, he
that.
also don't make no compunctions about being a crabapple. So once you get past the crabappleness, he's actually a pretty fair dude. You know what I mean?
He's a good guy. I like
the crabapple.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he's more of a crabapple than me. Yeah, believe it or not.
Hey,
you know, he's cool.
Greg. Hey, Greg, I wanted to the Tom Brady reference to Josh. It went over my head. I didn't get it because Noob is kind of giving me shit in the chat saying that I'm not a real Dolphins fan. I just admitted it or whatever.
No.
What was it? I'm a little bit slow, so can you explain the joke to me?
Oh, I was.
What was it?
I heard Mark bring up John. So I wanted to prove a point that Tom Brady has just as many championships as Josh Allen, but he has more Super Bowls.
Oh shit! Now I get it. Damn. Mark, man.
Hey, Mark, what do you think? The next time I come in with the Mark persona, what do you think if I call him like Mark's tailbone or some shit like that? like I'm your conjoined twin that you've got hidden under your shirt that nobody knows is growing out your side.
I don't know whether to laugh at the Bills' misery or give them a candlelight vigil or something.
Mark's tailbone, man.
Oh, I don't know. I like all you guys. You guys are fun. I consider you your friend. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. The conjoined tailbone. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
exactly. I'm the conjoined twin that's growing out of his
team
tailbone.
affiliation, but I do like y'all.
Damn. Oh man.
Yeah, and that the conjoined twin is a Dolphins fan. He can't help it. Yeah. He's always got some Dolphin fans slapping him in the ass.
The alter ego that became his twin.
Yeah, he secretly cut me off with a scalpel and tossed me in the woods, and I grew to become his arch twin. You know what I mean?
In other words, color it's a parasitic twin. You know, one of those.
Right.
Is that parasitic?
Yeah, you know, one of those parasitic twins. You cut them off, and then they grow into something else.
Yeah, I was raised by primitive animals. It was only until
Hell no. Oh man.
I wonder if Top Golf is still open tonight. I'm gonna stop by there.
I don't know, but they still haven't hit one over the top of the net in the one by my house.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on one of the golf balls to go over that net.
I want to play golf.
Pretty high.
I want to play golf.
I wonder how that would be a heck of a shot to hit it over that gate.
Mark, do you play golf, Mark?
I must have defended him with the conjoined twin talk.
Oh man.
There you go. Conjoined twins. There you go. My bad. It was in the parasitic twins.
He's like, Color, that was a really dark time of my life. You didn't need to bring it up.
Hey, by the way, Crypto, do you play golf? Did you play golf?
Yeah, I mean I don't play full games, but I do engage from time every now and then. I mean, I go to driving ranges like Top Golf or whatever, you know, shoot around, play games. But I don't own my set of clubs. I'm not that much of a novice to own my own set of clubs. It is something you have to get into.
Oh, somebody talking?
Yeah. But I'm just a novice at golf.
Mark went on a business meeting.
Yeah, he went on his business meeting. Got out to a head start. The losing started in his mind, so he just going on getting to a head start.
He's watching all those highlights of all those consecutive 4 Super Bowl losses.
He disappeared last year, guys, after he lost. Come on.
He's looking up. Is he like, is it even possible for a conjoined twin to grow out of your tailbone?
Right.
Damn, bro.
Damn. Well, they did say when we evolved, we did have tailbones that used to be tails.
That's what your appendix is.
Right? Right, it's like a pocket. It's like a pocket of dormant genetic material that could spark into being a conjoined twin at any time.
Oh hell no! You guys are nuts.
Damn.
Anybody see the new Ant-Man movie yet?
And no, it's not the edibles. It's this strain called Spritzer, and it's really heavy percentage.
Spritzer the Deutsch.
Spritzer die Deutsch.
Anybody see the new Ant-Man movie yet?
No, I haven't seen it. Have you?
No, that's what I was asking. I'm thinking about watching it.
Yeah, A color. That's the notochords have the post anal tail. Right.
Oh man, here we go. So how about that?
That was during Mark. Anyways, yeah. Sorry.
Hey man, I'm proud. You know what I'm proud of, bro? Color, you know what I'm proud of?
What would that be?
We went a whole 3 hours without having a tour debate, and I don't want one, but I just.
I know. That's great.
That's a good feat.
Them highlights were pretty cool, man. You know, I think that when you see something positive, you always, it always sets the tone. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing about it is, man, we got to remember that there's 52 other positions, and I'm glad that we're starting to highlight more of them. You know what I mean? That's what I want to get to.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And all in all, I mean, I'm not an asshole. I mean, I don't go to a party. I don't go to a party talking about politics. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, next time, Shake Money, I expect to have a 3-hour discussion on long snapper.
Long snapper. Listen, I already told you we're going to franchise tag our Ferguson.
We gotta look for the next John. We gotta look for the next John Denny.
Deal.
We gotta look for the next John Denny to hold down our franchise long snapper position.
We're gonna give him $49 million guaranteed, $50 million deal.
There you go.
That's what's up.
The next John Denny, everyone.
Hey, did anybody hear? Did the Jets actually sign Ariaza or not?
All right.
Hey, Crypto, do you remember the long snapper before John Denny? Who was our long snapper before?
Was it Polite? Didn't he do some long sniping?
Ed Perry. You're a black guy, Ed Perry.
Yeah.
Ed Perry. There you go. Oh man.
Yeah. One of them one year when they had an honorary Pro Bowl position.
You think in the safety room, you foresee who do you see as our safety room? Do you see who's the guy? Do you see McKinney remaining in the safety room?
Depends on Trill Williams.
Williams.
Depends on how healthy Trill Williams is, because they're moving him to safety. You got the Short Elliott, you got Javon Holland.
Elliott. I like Elliott as a main.
And you got Brandon Jones too.
He's a much physical.
So I think it depends on health. Depends on the health of Brandon Jones. Depends on the health of Trill Williams.
Yeah, Elliott is going to be. Yeah, I think he's going to surprise some people. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
God damn! I forgot about Deshaun Elliott, bro. Shit.
You guys see the hit he put?
Wow.
The underdog. I mean, I grew up watching a cartoon Underdog. I'm just a natural underdog.
Mm-hmm.
I stand up and right as rain, but when I went bent over, I'm in stabbing pain.
Damn.
Yeah. I even had the underdog under rules.
Damn.
Mm.
Can't believe I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Underdog.
That was taking a space for something really worthwhile could have been.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Shake Money.
Yes, sir.
That's a real throwback there. Underdog.
Underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underdog. What's the other one? Tarzan.
That was another one. We had Tennessee. We had Tennessee Tuxedo.
Oh yeah. Baby Hugh. Remember Baby Hugh?
Baby Hugh. Uh-huh.
You remember that Jackie Chan movie, Tuxedo?
Oh, Heckle and Jekyll. Heckle and Jekyll. You really want to?
Yeah, I remember that movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Jackie Chan. I think it was called Tuxedo, and the tuxedo would give you like abilities and shit.
Hell, anybody
like, had different gadgets and stuff.
Anybody remember the Go Cats?
Thundercats.
No.
Thundercats.
Yeah.
Thundercats is my favorite. Yeah.
Speaking of throwback, how about Felix?
You said what?
You're talking about throwback cartoons.
Felix
the cat.
Oh,
Felix the cat. You mean?
Yeah.
You had Felix. You had Garfield and Heathcliff.
I love Garfield, bro. I used to love watching it.
Sal, you be safe too, brother. Much love.
I used to love reading the Garfield comics, man, on the Miami Herald newspaper. Every time I used to read it, that and Dilbert. I used to like it.
That was another one, Tomcat.
Hey, we hold on. We got a $5 super chat. His favorite was Ultraman.
I don't remember
Ultraman.
Ultraman. Hold on. Yeah, Michelob Ultraman.
Courageous Cat.
Ultraman,
I forget his
Dollar Man. Damn.
That's way past my
California. Shout out to California. He said Woody Woodpecker. That's a classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a brand. That laugh was something else.
I used to do that when I was a kid.
Actually, the first time I saw the actual Woody Woodpecker the movie. That's what I finally got a chance to see.
They were all the same guys doing the voices. Mel Blanc, all those voices.
Yeah, one guy. Yeah, he did the whole voiceover.
He's incredible.
Hey, and you know what's funny is I never knew for a long time that Casey Kasem did Shaggy's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's Casey. Get out of here.
That's Shaggy.
Yeah, Casey Kasem.
Oh, okay.
How about this one? The Mighty Heroes.
I don't remember them either.
Globe.
Yeah, Bart Simpson is actually a woman.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, it's a woman that does Bart Simpson. Yeah, that's crazy.
Ninja Turtles.
And what's his name does Shrek voice?
What was the master's name? The rat.
Mike Myers.
What was the name of the master of the Ninja Turtles? I forgot his name.
Splinter.
You break it up, I can't hear you.
Splinter.
I said. Say it again, Shake.
Splinter.
Splinter. Okay.
Master Splinter. Yeah.
Yeah, Master Splinter, the big giant rat.
Oh yeah.
What else, man? What else?
Turtles wasn't too bad. I can get into it. It's just that, man.
You guys remember Zoom?
Donatello and Leonardo.
Yeah, they were whatchamacallit, Renaissance. All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, who came up with the idea of naming them after famous Italian painters?
Mm-hmm.
I know, right?
Who came up with that idea?
Michelangelo.
Yeah, name famous Italian painters.
I think it was the inventor. I think it was the inventor of Olive Garden.
You got to give Stan Lee his
The
props.
inventor of Olive Garden that did it. Shake money.
Mm-hmm.
And their backstories. You know.
Stan Lee used to write Spider-Man.
Yeah, he wrote them all.
No.
Yeah.
He
wrote.
I'm sorry. He started off writing for Batman. He started off writing for Batman.
Right, and he went from DC to Marvel, and he wrote the first Spider-Man issue, Amazing Fantasy 15, and he wrote all the way. He wrote more than 100 issues. I think he finished like a 114, maybe 115. But all the way throughout the 60s and mid 70s, that was his story arc.
He did Thor.
He did Captain America, X-Men,
Crypto. Maybe the creator. Maybe the creator was just like really hated those artists and thought that their artwork came from a sewer.
Yeah,
that could be it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
All the artwork.
by the way, the guy who came up with Spawn, the guy who came up with Spawn was the writer for Amazing Spider-Man. He used to write the Amazing Spider-Man.
He actually created Venom. He actually created the artwork for Venom. I forgot. Todd McFarlane. Tom McFarlane, right? McFarlane, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His name was McFarlane. He also used to make the sports figurines, the Ricky Williams and the ones that they used to make for during like the 2000s. Yeah, I forget the company name.
Irving. I had a John Offerdahl, man. They had like removable helmet and everything, man. They were like 4-inch action figures.
Yeah, Tom McFarlane.
What was that, Shake Money?
No,
there you go. That's it.
The creator Spawn, Tom McFarlane.
Okay.
Yeah. Mark Webb, I forgot his name.
I wonder if there's any relation to
Spider-Man with the big eyes during the 90s. He also did some of the artwork for the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books. I forgot his name. Webb.
Wasn't it Jack Grigsby or something like that did the original artwork for the older Spider-Mans?
Hey, by the way, Carter, you heard of Johnny Bravo?
Oh, that was my
Johnny
shit.
Bravo. Yeah, that was
That was my shit.
Seth MacFarlane was a writer for Johnny Bravo. That's how he started.
Right.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he started off as a writer with Johnny Bravo. And the one fun fact about Seth MacFarlane that a lot of people don't know is he was supposed to be on one of the planes that hit the Twin Towers.
Yeah, American Airlines Flight 11. He was supposed to be on that flight, but that flight got canceled. That's the one that hit the North Tower.
No, it didn't get canceled. He woke up late and he missed the flight.
Oh yeah, canceled. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was late to the flight. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
Right.
He woke up late.
So that's a big brain part there.
You know who's a really brilliant comedian too, man, and a lot of people don't realize how much she's done and responsible for is Alex Borstein.
How about California with Popeye?
Yeah.
Oh
That's a
yeah.
good one.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You know the town is the original the Chester, Illinois. That's what the thing was.
Oh yeah, I've been there. I've been there, Crypto. I've actually touched that statue, bro. They have a statue of
Right.
Popeye there. The
Popeye
creator
there, yep.
was from Chester, Illinois. Yeah.
Chester, yep.
So they actually have a national monument there for the guy that has a Popeye statue.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, that somebody wrote in the comments section that Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. That was a good show too. I think it was with Firefly or.
Yeah, that was the original one, man. It had Iceman. Remember, he used to squirt the ice track in front of him to let it slide down. You know,
the slide down, right? Exactly.
And by the way, Transformers was robots that could transform in the car, but Transformers these days are a totally different thing, and I don't want to get into that one.
I know, bro. I know. I'm with you, Shake.
I didn't even. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a
as
while.
Far as
money, so I
as far as Shake, as far as retconning stuff, look, I'm sorry. The guy's name was Bumblebee for a very specific reason, bro. You can't just make the freaking car a Camaro, man. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It's a Beetle, man. It's a freaking Volkswagen.
Right. The Bumblebee was actually an option package on the Volkswagen Bug. Right. Exactly. You can't just call. No. Oh man.
Right. That's terrible.
That's like a Transformer called Ferrari, and then all of a sudden he's a Honda Accord.
Right. But his name is still Ferrari.
Yeah.
Or what's Ferrari's first name? I don't even know.
Wheeljack? No, it wasn't
Ferrari Testarossa.
Well, or how about there's a Transformer.
All the Autobots.
Hold on. How about there's a Transformer that's an Aston Martin and his name is Martin, and they change it to a Chevy.
Right.
Yeah.
And still call him Martin. You know what I mean?
My two favorite animated series in the 90s was Spider-Man 94 series and X-Men. X-Men was good.
Hey, by the way, Marvel, as far as animated is concerned, they've had a lot of good storylines lately.
Yeah, they have. X-Men, the X-Men series, that music,
I became an adult and stopped following and all that. But who was the Beast Wars version of Bumblebee? Was it an actual Bumblebee?
Don't know.
I don't think so.
Well, because from what I understand, all of their consciousness changed, got transferred into Beast Transformers, and that's where Beast Wars came from, is from what I understand. People can correct me if I'm wrong. But
the original cartoon Transformers, they had different animals, and they had one called the Insecticons.
Yep, and the Dinobots. Remember the Dinobots?
The Dinobots, yeah. Well, you had
Urban,
different versions.
Your microphone sucks, bro.
Yeah, Urban, your microphone.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Hey, anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. You guys have a great rest of your night. It's been a pleasure, man.
Same here, brother. Be safe.
Yeah, because they had an actual beetle with the Insecticon. They had the wasp. They had a grasshopper. And I forgot the other one. Well, the praying mantis. That's what they had.
Yeah. And remember all the
big bot when they connected together.
And what about the GoBots?
You know what I'm saying?
Power Rangers.
Bro, remember too the before we get on the GoBots, remember the Constructicons? It was all construction vehicles,
Construction vehicles,
like Tonka trucks and shit.
Exactly, color, and they made a super bot called Devastator. That's who they.
That's right. But as far as GoBots, GoBots were different types of Transformers, but they weren't in the Transformer universe. They were their own thing.
Right,
It was
they were their own thing. Yeah,
people can argue.
The good thing about GoBots was they didn't need guns.
Yeah.
They shot out of their hands.
Right, and the thing too is people I'm sure all the fanboys of each would probably argue today about who ripped off who. I get that, but when I was a kid, GoBots were just as cool, and as toys to play with, they were actually kind of easier to transform than the Transformers. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like they weren't. Yeah. We didn't see it that way as kids. I loved the GoBots cartoon just as much as I did the Transformers, even though they were separate universes.
They were separate universe, yeah. Because you had one car was that female car, Crusher. And you had
the lead character was a bike.
Yeah,
it was like a motorcycle.
Yeah, leader. You had one called Leader One. I think it was a jet. It was like a fighter jet or something. Was one of them, and then, like you said, one of them was the motorcycle. Was I forget his name, because one of them was like
I forget too, because I suspect GoBots would be considered the knockoff. You know what I mean? But
the knockoff, yeah,
But
because you remember all the Autobots were just different versions of different vehicles, or anything with.
And the Decepticons were mostly like war vehicles and
like aircraft.
Right, and tanks.
They started out as being aircraft, right? Because you had of course Megatron, which was a 9mm, which was weird for him to be their leader.
Right.
9mm. That was a leader of the Decepticons.
Well, didn't he also do a tank?
I remember people using him to shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Actually, it was Soundwave that used him to when he transformed into a gun. It was always either Soundwave that held him to shoot with, or when they had a more advanced version where he turned himself into a cannon.
Right. That's why I kept thinking tank. That's why I kept thinking he was a tank. Right.
Yeah, he loaded it. He transformed himself into a cannon. Yeah.
Craig Sebring is reading my mind because I was about to bring up G.I. Joe. Have you noticed that G.I. Joe, there will be like 1,000 lasers shot, but not one person gets hit?
Right.
Oh, yeah. And why are they shooting lasers out of army guns? You know what I mean? Like, I could never figure that out either. Was this like futuristic army or something? You know?
Right.
I was never into
like, where's my
Joe.
laser gun at?
$6 million man.
Well, the reason I was never into G.I. Joe is like everybody wore a different suit. Like, what is there any army with uniform standard?
I didn't like the whole idea of Cobra, even though they're supposed to be the bad guys. I just never understood the whole concept,
Right.
Cobra.
Well, nowadays, Crypto, it'd be equivalent to your paramilitary group that's gone rogue. You know what I mean, and gone bad, like the old ex-KGB that runs all the Russian mafia and all the movies. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
In America.
Yeah,
G.I. Joe was good.
I mean, it had an interesting plot because at that time,
the group that took over the battleship in Under Siege.
Yeah, well, is that the one with Steven Seagal? Yeah.
That was an all-star cast, believe it or not. That freaking movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
Tommy Lee Jones played the main leader of the freaking group.
Now, which movie is that? The one he was in where he got killed within the first 5 minutes of the movie?
That was Executive Decision. That was a movie called Executive Decision.
Right, I'm like, he's killed in the first 5 seconds.
Right, and the star of that movie turned out to be Kurt Russell and Halle Berry, not Steven Seagal.
It wasn't Seagal. I'm like, wait a minute, Seagal showed up.
Yeah, it turned out to be but they still credited it as a Steven Seagal movie, if I remember correctly, and they didn't just call it a cameo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like he was in the very first. He was in the very first act. Right, the very first act of the movie. As soon as they boarded, like he got taken out of the movie because he got stuck on the F-117 that they were trying to transfer them on a plane with.
Well, you remember Tom Cruise at the end of Tropic Thunder?
You said Traffic Thunder?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
But bro,
I don't remember that.
Bro.
I'm trying to remember the scenes in that movie, Ron.
Bro, Executive Decision was one of them movies that didn't turn out to make as much money as they probably intended. But if you watch that movie, like the way it plays out, it was really good, man. Really, really good.
Thunder was loaded with stars too. It had Robert Downey Jr., Jack Black. What's his name? I always forget his name.
I mean, Crypto. Do you feel like I do that when that hijacker realized that we had somehow got our military guys onto the plane, and he looked at Kurt Russell and he's like, "Who are you?" And Kurt Russell was just like, he looked at him and he shirked. He didn't smirk. He shirked like, "What a stupid question!" And he answered, "I'm no one." Like, hey, don't you realize I'm no one? You know what I mean? Like, it was fucking awesome, bro. I'm like, damn, this is great shit, dude. Hey, and this terrorist is just sitting there like, how the hell did you guys get on the plane? Who are you? And he's like, I'm no one. Like, what a dumb question.
You know that movie? Hey, there's a movie that's full of all-stars that weren't all-stars. And being that we're all old school here, can you guys guess which one I'm talking about? A movie that was full of all-stars that weren't all-stars. I'm talking about blockbuster A-lister celebrities that weren't all-stars at the time.
Outsiders?
Movies that they played in?
You got it.
Oh, yeah. Outsiders for sure.
Outsiders.
That movie was considered to be like setting the new quote-unquote Rat Pack. Like, that movie had everybody in it, man.
For Patrick Swayze.
We have a whole bunch of
Tom Cruise, Rob
Lowe. Another one people might not remember was in that what the hell is his name? What's the other guy's name?
Dillon.
Matt Dillon. Yeah, Matt Dillon.
Yep. Yeah, there was a lot of stars in that movie, man.
Tom Cruise had a short role in it. Freaking.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies with a bunch of stars in it that Cruise was in, was Interview with the Vampire. That one had a bunch of stars. I love movies like that. I mean, that was one of my
Coming to America too. You had Coming to America with Samuel Jackson. You had Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yep. Here's another one you might forget. Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
Beverly Hills Cop was
Eddie Murphy's great in those movies, man.
There's a certain actor in the. I want to say it was the first one.
And Beverly Hills.
Remember when they needed to look for. No. Remember when they needed to look for a freaking vehicle to chase the bad guy in, right? Mm-hmm. And what's his name rolls up in a freaking dump truck. Remember that?
Yeah, Judge Reinhold.
Right. They roll up in a dump truck, right? They chase the guy. They follow him to the mansion or whatever, and they get out, and the valet parker has to park this fucking dump truck. Who is that valet parker? He comes out and says, now I've had to park this, I've had to park that, but I don't know what the hell to do with this. You don't remember who that was? Chris Rock.
Oh, Chris Rock. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, but I wasn't sure. I kind of forgot.
Oh, I think that was the second one.
Yeah.
What was
the second one?
I think so, because I think that's when they pulled up to the racetrack and he had to park it.
Right.
What's going on?
I agree with Craig Sebring. They Live has one of the best lines. I'm here to chew gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of gum.
So what is? Hey, so what are y'all bringing up? Eddie Murphy movies?
We were bringing up movies that have people in it that got like their kind of like was their first real appearance, and people forget how and missed them. Like it was a small role, but it was like kind of like ended up being an A-lister. You know what I mean?
Hey, by the way, do you know? Does anybody know what was Quentin Tarantino's first appearance on camera?
His appearance on camera?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one, man, because it's a good one, man. That's a good question.
On camera.
Wasn't that the one with the
Damn, good one.
With George Clooney.
Nope.
No, wasn't the one with George Clooney when he was.
Nope.
How about this, Shake? Question: was it a Quentin Tarantino movie?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't actually suspect it was.
His first
Right.
role ever was an Elvis impersonator in the Golden Girls.
Wow.
Wow. Damn, Elvis impersonated the Golden Girl.
Yeah.
Honorary Dolphin fans, the
Yeah.
Golden Girls was set in what?
Miami.
Yeah.
You gotta admit, Miami's in more movies and TV shows than any other team, also.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Bad Boys.
Well, Silk Stockings was actually supposed to be the Palm Beach Police Department, but it was filmed in Miami.
Hey, All About Mary. I'm here to play the Dolphins, dumbass.
Yep.
Oh man,
to play the Dolphins.
I remember having people tell me we had to stay in our house for about 2 hours because they were filming a Burt Reynolds scenes on our street.
Right.
Oh, what was that one movie or TV show he was in?
Longest Yard.
Huh?
He was the original Longest Yard.
No, it was a TV show, but they always filmed the movie was always being filmed in West Palm.
Was that a show called Evening Shade?
No.
Shade.
You pretty sure, or was that Tom Selleck that was on Evening Shade?
I think that was Tom Selleck.
It was Magnum P.I.
Somebody look up Burt Reynolds.
That's who Magnum P.I.
Or
is.
not
Right.
movie. It wasn't a movie. It was actually a TV show.
I know Burt Reynolds had a TV show. There was only
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah.
Magnum P.I. Wow. That's really going way back.
Yep.
Damn, my parents got me watching that. Yeah, that was a classic theme song, Color.
Yeah, that was supposed to be set in Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken.
There was a show called Evening Shade.
With Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Evening
That
Shade.
wasn't
Yeah,
it.
that's what I thought it was called. Evening Shade, right?
But that wasn't the movie that was being filmed down there.
No, that was the show you were talking about.
No, it's not.
No, the regular show is what I mean. Evening Shade was a regular.
There was one after that. No, there was one after that. He did.
Well, Shake, you'll have to pull up his whole list.
Damn.
Which, by the way, IMDb makes it really easy to do.
Yeah.
Didn't he play for the Gators too?
Yeah.
No, he played for Seminoles.
Yeah, he played for the Seminoles.
Was he a Seminole?
I thought, Todd, did he go to? He didn't go to Santa Lucia's High School in Palm Beach County, did he?
I think he did. Hold on, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna come right back on. I'm gonna look it up because now this is aggravating me.
I know what you mean.
Hey, Jake, just tell him where to go to Google, right?
Yeah, I'm looking up now.
There's a lot of Seminoles fans that went to Santa Lucia's High School just because their colors are very similar. They got like garnet and gold or whatever.
Right.
Hey, I used to have a T-shirt, a Hurricanes T-shirt that said on the front of the shirt it said "You're stupid," and on the back it said "And your mama dresses you in garnet and gold."
Damn.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump off of here. So
all right, Ron.
Have a great night.
All right, Ron.
You have a good night, my brother.
Great show again. Thank you for having me, bro.
Of course, you're always welcome here, bro.
Thanks, Ron.
I ran out of milk. I'm gonna make some hot chocolate. Guess I can use the old-fashioned way. I can use water still, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the old movies that my mom had me watching. The Magnum PIs of the world and the Charlie's Angels and the what's the other one? Hardcastle and McCormick.
I got it. BL Striker.
BL Striker. Wow, that's a name I ain't heard in a long time.
That was being filmed all over West Palm.
Now, you sure that one ain't Tom Selleck?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I remember that being filmed all over West Palm. I do remember now.
Wow.
I never saw it being filmed, but I remember that being the talk of the town. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what's up. Oh man. Anyway, Todd, we about to close this thing up, man. It's 1:30 in the morning. So if you want to chat backstage, you're more than welcome to. All right. Instead of doing final thoughts, because I don't think we all have any. So I just want
no, Shake. You know what the final thought is, because at the end of the day, it is what it is, which is the evening.
Fins up. Hey, remember.
Hey, I know you're not doing final thoughts, but I'm just gonna say Gators suck. That's mine.
Yes, and the Canes could kiss my ass. Remember Fanatics? Right. Any official license gear, you could get the gay ass Gator shit if you want to on there. And W Energy drink, great for energy. And of course,
you got it right this time, Fake.
And of course, El Capitan color, Ali, Lewis, and Shake Money. Gator fan, and don't root for those sorry ass Canes. But anyway, see, Todd, I didn't bring it up. I didn't start it. Anyway, y'all have a good night. I still love you, Todd.
Disavow.
Y'all have a good night, man. Fins up, baby.